Time, all of my life, living in a world of aggression, tyranny's mixed with self-oppression. What am I to do but tear away when I'm boiling at the top? Try to find a way to fight the fire, smart to rap from the minds of liars, call the shots as you bow your heads, and the march never stops. The stars could be free, but this insanity bends you right by the knee. Running in circles now for something that can't be found, and I bet that you hit the wall.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Modern Day Debate. I am your moderator, Ryan, tonight, and we're going to get started right away. Flat versus Globe, and to get us started, we have Mike MC Toon. So, Mike, you have up to 6 minutes. The floor is all yours.
All right, I'm sharing a screen here for you, Ryan. Let me know when you've got it up.
We are up and running. I did it. There we go.
All right. I am headed to Antarctica. I'll be on the ice in 9 days with 4 flat earthers to see if the sun goes around in circles. That's experiment number one, just number one of a set of experiments that I have on my website, mctoon.net/TFE-experiments. So of course the important one, yes, will the sun circle or will it do something else? Flat earthers are uncertain exactly what they might see, but they have been saying for all the time that flat earthers have been active on YouTube, they've basically been saying that the sun doesn't do what the globe says the sun does in Antarctica. They say either it does set or, well, they don't know. Anyway, that's one of 16 experiments I have on this page here. There may be even more, and of course, best laid plans. We may not obviously get every single one of these experiments done based on weather and conditions and all sorts of things. But one thing that I'm really excited about, because I'll be in Punta Arenas for at least 6 nights. Punta Arenas is on the southern tip of South America, pretty close to Ushuaia, which is just a tiny bit farther south. And one of the things that we can do is we can test the angle of the sunset, because the globe has a very specific set of predictions for the sun setting. And I have on my page here a link to the prediction. And if you're curious, I can provide for you, I'll add it later here, the actual geometry for the time of the sunset and sunrise and the angle as well. For flat Earth, then what is the prediction for flat Earth? Well, I have done, by taking the flat Earth model that flat earthers often almost exclusively say, the Gleason map, they say. I've taken the Gleason map and I've determined from that the sunrise and sunset angles for Punta Arenas, and I'll show you what they are right here. Here is a chart, and so Punta Arenas is down at the bottom here, and the black circle is the Tropic of Capricorn, and since we'll be there December 14, but it's December 10 or 11 or right in there, so we're just about 10 days from the solstice, so the sun is almost nearly right at the Tropic of Capricorn. And The amount of time from local solar noon until sunset, that's what this is showing here, where the yellow sun there is on the left side. That's the position that the sun will be when the sun is setting, based on the time and this map here. So that angle there, that's almost north. So that's what I've generated for the flat Earth prediction. Now I don't want to strawman flat Earth. So if this is the incorrect way to produce the prediction, then I will be happy to receive correction from any flat earther. But I have yet to, in quite a few years, had any flat earther say this is the correct way to do the prediction, call me out and say you got it wrong. Here's how to do it. So please do tell me if it's wrong. But lacking anybody telling me how it's wrong, I've simply applied geometry, and this is what we get here. And then on the right side, you'll see that's where the sun, according to flat Earth, the angle to the sun set. So both of those are well north. You've got north northwest for the sunset and north northeast for the sunrise. Specifically, the angles are the azimuth or the heading angles 341 degrees plus or minus 1 for the sunset, and for the sunrise 23 plus or minus 1 degree. And of course, when you're talking azimuth readings, due north is 0 degrees. So now the sun, the globe prediction is southeast and southwest. So they differ by 110 or 115 degrees, dramatically different. So I will simply ask anybody watching it all, but specifically the two people we're talking with here, what is the correct, and if it's not this, what is the correct prediction for the angle to sunset and sunrise from that position? And if you don't have it now, we can talk about it later. But I'd love for you to take the map that you have, maybe on your wall, or maybe as your desktop picture or something like that, and apply it. Then number 2, I'm going to talk about the distance between lines of longitude. On the globe, the distance between the lines of longitude grows until you get to the equator, and then shrinks again as you go farther south. I will be far south. I will be at 55 degrees south latitude in Punta Arenas and 80 degrees south latitude in Antarctica. The globe makes a very specific prediction there as well, using r times cosine of the latitude, r being the radius of the globe. And the flat prediction then is very specific as well. The distance between the lines of longitude is L times pi over 180, and L is the distance from the North Pole and I'm using nautical miles, and then I'm converting to kilometers. And of course, as you get farther south on the flat Earth, the distance between the lines of
5
longitude
seconds.
must get bigger. There you go. There's the predictions. I'll love to hear your answers.
All right, well, we'll end that screen share there. Don't mind if I do. We appear to have lost somebody, unfortunately, so let's just go back to our screen share page. Just bear with me, everybody. So we lost Kevin, and we don't want to... Oh, that's a mess. Hold on, everybody. We got this. Ah, there we go. All right, let's just give it two seconds here, guys. We'll wait to see if we get Kevin back here. But in the meantime, I'll just do a little housekeeping and say welcome to Modern Day Debate, everybody. So thank you so much, MC Toon, for your introductory statement. We appreciate you coming back to Modern Day Debate, especially so close to your travel. It's exciting to have you here. Yeah, for sure. And we have Robert here who's going to be following up just shortly, everybody. So just bear with us, and we're going to get that introduction going. I do want to get Kevin back in the room so he can hear your introduction, though. I'm not sure what happened to Kevin, but
he was mentioning that he had an unstable connection. So I suppose
stable. Yeah, well, we'll just give it a few seconds here, guys. Yeah, we can keep doing some housekeeping and all that good stuff. But it's a shame he missed the last couple minutes of your intro there. So, but yeah, once again, guys, if you haven't already, hit the like button here. If you're hanging out at Modern Day Debate or anywhere, it helps boost us up in the algorithm, get these discussions out there, and let people know what's going down. We do appreciate all the support in the live chat. Your buddy Hakem is hanging out in our live chat there, Mike. MXXD is also modding, keeping people tame and kind and all that good stuff. So thank you, Max, for all you're doing there. Let's see what else. We haven't gotten any super chats yet, but I will remind the audience that we are going to take questions at the end of the discussion. So let's just give Kevin one more minute here, and if he doesn't pop back in, then we will proceed with Robert's introduction, and we'll play it by ear, guys. I think that's okay. But so sorry, John. John came in last minute, everybody. Unfortunately, the person that we had teamed up with Kevin, well, they didn't make it. So yeah, John is here, and we are thankful for John to step in last minute. But we didn't expect John to take on the whole kit caboodle here, guys. So yeah, come on, Kevin. We're counting on you there, buddy. Get your booty back in here. Let's see. He's probably watching live right now.
I wonder if he's been.
At me. There he is. No worries.
I wonder if he's been
You
etherically
stop.
displaced.
I was gonna say, I knew you're not gonna say anything good. I know it. No, it's fine. All right, back and running. Kevin, can you hear us? We can't hear you yet. Hold on. Let me just unmute you. Make sure your audio is good. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
All right, thank you so much for coming back. Sorry if you got disconnected there for a second, and sorry to our audience for the delay. We're going to get right back to it, so let me just fix up these speakers here. So you go here, you go there, and you're not the moderator, Robert. Just one second. There we go. Now we're right. We're upside. Let's get back to our main screen. We're going to hand the floor over to Robert. Sorry for the delay, everybody. Smash the like button if you haven't already. You gotta love these little interludes every once in a while. You know, it's an interlude of love. So without further ado, go ahead there, Robert. You have 6 minutes on the floor.
We're going to go to me, or we're going to go to Kevin. I'm fine either way.
Oh, sorry. We usually go back to back for the
Okay. All right. No problem.
One side. So 6 minutes on the floor, and whenever you're ready.
Okay. I'd really prepared a presentation with Tony being in here in mind, but since Tony bailed, but maybe we'll kind of toss it to John and Kevin and see what they think of this. Tony, of course, is from Australia. So I had some very specific questions around Australia for him. And I wanted to see if he agreed with it. Unfortunately, he's not here, but just some examples of some measurements. I'm going to lose track of where I'm at here. So kind of looking at Australia, this is, coming from Google Maps. Essentially mapped out what it would take to drive from Perth all the way over to Sydney, about 3,900 kilometers. And I look at that same thing. I'm going to go one step further here from way up here, Bamaga, all the way down to Melbourne. So about the same thing, 3,800 kilometers. So about the same amount of distance going north-south, east-west. So I was going to ask Tony whether or not that was accurate, because he's from Australia. And I was going to ask him, well, actually, before I do that, and I hate to kind of go jump back and forth, but this is kind of all messed up. I've asked Kevin about 4 or 5 times now which flat Earth map he thinks is the most accurate. Most flat earthers generally say it would be Gleason's map. Maybe Kevin, just put your hand in the air if you think that Gleason's is the most accurate flat Earth map. I don't see him doing anything. So I'm going to make the assumption that that's what he's going to say. So if we continue going down and we look at Australia on the flat earthers map, what's the problem there? Australia is now 4 times wider than it is tall. So it becomes really a fundamental issue with flat Earth, is that there are no accurate flat Earth maps for doing any type of navigation, whether that be, aviation. By the way, I've been flying for about 21 years as a general aviation pilot. I'm not a commercial pilot, and I just fly little airplanes. To be very, very clear about that, I'm not going to do a Bob Nodell and claim that I'm a commercial pilot when I'm not. But navigation is a fundamental issue of flat Earth, in that the distances involved is not quite as bad in the northern hemisphere. But as Mike mentioned earlier, as soon as you go into the southern hemisphere, flat Earth, let me bring up another picture here real fast. Where'd it go? There we go. On flat Earth, as you go south of the equator, the distances between each longitude get longer and longer and longer. Where on the globe, they get smaller. So as we start looking at some of these distances, you have to extrapolate, because Gleason's map, or any other flat Earth map doesn't have a scale. So there's no way to actually measure a distance. So you have to kind of extrapolate. So I know the distance between LA and Miami is about 2,000 nautical miles. So you take that and extrapolate it out. So I start looking at an example, and in front of kind of our pre-prep for the thing, Tony asked what we're going to be talking about, and I mentioned flights. He's like, "Well, you're not going to talk about that Sydney to Santiago flight," and I'm like, "Well, why not? It's a real flight." It seemed to really upset him. I was going to bring that up, and I think the reason that is when you extrapolate that flight out, it ends up being about 5.7 lengths. So it's 6,100 nautical miles on the globe, but if you extrapolate it out on the globe Earth, on a flat Earth, it's over 11,500 nautical miles. And if we go in here and we look at the airline that flies that particular flight is the Dreamliner, the maximum range of that airliner is 73, 75, 6,300 miles. So that flight, which happens several times, pretty much several times a week, between Sydney and Santiago, there's a few other ones, Sydney to Johannesburg, Perth to Johannesburg. They're all flights that are impossible to happen on flat Earth, but yet they routinely happen on the globe. So I'll be certainly curious to see if Kevin and John have any thoughts on that and how it could be possible. I'll actually show you using ForeFlight, which is the actual flight planning program that myself and probably tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of other pilots around the world use. So we'll talk about that from a real world perspective and kind of see what they think. Also, I talked to Kevin about a couple other things that he's brought up. You hear him, people were joking earlier about curved buildings, because he seems to think that buildings have to be curved to be placed on the Earth. So I've got some numbers I want to go over with him about, well, how much would it be? Is the building 50 feet wide, 100 feet wide, a half a mile wide? How much would the curvature of the Earth affect a building, and how much would have to be compensated for? So I'd love to talk to Kevin about that and see if John has any thoughts. And also, Kevin had brought up the other day, and that's kind of really a problem that we have with Kevin, is he'll make a statement of, the horizon rises to eye level. So we'll ask him, well, how do you measure eye level? And he won't answer. So we'll see tonight if he'll give an answer or not. Probably not. But Kevin, I'm putting you on notice that I'm going to basically be asking these questions. When you make a statement, we're going to expect you to back it up with something that's measurable. And I'll kind of release my remaining minute.
A1, you got it there, Robert. Well, thank you so much for your introduction and coming out to Modern Day Debate. We appreciate it. So we're going to remind our audience once again, before I put a poll in the chat, is it flat, is it a globe, or is it a bag of bread? You can let us know your thoughts, and maybe if you're not playing by the rules, that's totally fine. We want to hear from you at Modern Day Debate. But also, I will let everybody know that all of our speakers, if we have links for them, will be linked in our description, and that is included if you're watching on podcast, which all of the debates are uploaded to podcast within 24 hours of hosting them. But that being said, if you do want to ask questions to a speaker on screen, you've got to subscribe to the Modern Day Debate YouTube channel. That way you can actually ask those super chats in real time. And once again, try to grill the person you see on screen, or even just say, hey, I really like your performance tonight, so-and-so. That's fine too. But yeah, try to keep them friendly and on topic. So with all of that aside, we're going to hand it over to Q-Bala. Kevin is here, and ready when you are, Kevin. 6 minutes on the floor.
All right. Thank you very much, Ryan. I'm going to share my screen to start with the sound this time. And yeah, it's a quote, last debate by McToon. He made a claim. And thank you, Ryan, to prevent McToon to deflect, because he was going to deflect, and you told him to
just to be specific. I'm going to let this happen, but this is the only one, and as long as you're making commentary towards it, your thing is on mute. But as we said before, we're not going to make commentary about debates that we had in the past. So as long as you're going to build right off this point, I'll let it happen, and I'll let it slide this one time. But we're not going to be doing that going forward. So you still got 5.5 minutes. Let's show this, and then we'll end the screen share, and we'll carry on with your.
Yeah, it is the current debate. Okay. Robert talked about it in his presentation about curved building, and this debate tonight. Okay, get used to it, Ryan, because it's going to be a lot about curved building. Okay, so I'm going to play the clip which I played in Toon's live. Let's listen to it.
Normal spirit level, but it makes the floor straight. Okay, the level, whether it's a spirit level with a bubble or a laser level, it doesn't follow some curvature. Can you agree with that, Michael?
No.
Okay,
This is your chance. This is where you present evidence. So bring forth the evidence.
Well, just for the sake of the conversation, if you would be able to describe maybe where you don't agree with what he just said there, and then we'll carry on.
Yeah. So say you built a building that was a mile long, from one end to the other, you would have a deviation, and you could measure that deviation from flat. It would be curved.
All right, I'm ending the screen
All
share.
right.
You've made your point.
Okay.
I let it happen.
Yeah.
No more. We're
Okay.
gonna get into the actual debate.
Yeah.
Today. All right, let's do it.
It is the actual debate. It is the actual debate. Robert mentioned it, the curve building. It's going to be my main topic tonight. Like I said, get used to it. We're going to be talking about curve building because what Michael said is that when you use a level like that, okay, and to make your building straight, he said, no. The level doesn't make the building straight. It makes follow a curvature. He said it. We just all heard him, okay? And like it happened in November. He had time to prove it to us, like with first-hand measurement. It's a known fact that Michael Toom doesn't do measurement of any kind. He goes on the computer to get his measurement by someone else on the internet, and both times in the last debate that I asked him for measurement of man-made structures, he went on the internet, as usual, get some measurement of body of water. Body of water are natural. They have nothing to do with man-made structure. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen again. And I'm going to show you, okay, this is... sorry. This is not what I want to show. I'm gonna go. It's here or here. Yeah. This was after the other debate with.
All right, I gotta shut you down. I'm so sorry, but Kevin, we've got to focus on the debate we're having today, not what happened last time. Kevin said this.
You guys want to see measurement? I show you measurement.
Okay, show us the measurement. Just like I said, let's not talk about what Mike did last time.
Just let me talk, Ryan. Everything will be fine. I'm prepared, okay?
Zen Ryan.
This is the measurement I took at the ice rink. The level is level, okay? And we find out afterwards, and I admit that we lost the natural physics of water because the ice was surfaced with a Zamboni machine, which is made to make the ice as flat as possible. So, and we can see that it does the job. The Zamboni did a good job, and the laser level is very effective. We can see that it's very flat, okay? And it's not natural anymore. So this has nothing to do with showing me a measurement of curved water of a natural body of water. This is man-made ice, okay? So if I go, I have something else I want to show you guys. Because when I was told that it was not the good tool, what I did is I went to do my research, and well, let me find the video. I went to do my research, and I talked to construction workers and some engineer in university. And just so you know, all the film I've been taken with my GoPro on my chest. But when I work, I have so much thing on my chest, my speaker, my phone. So people don't notice that they are filmed. So they have a genuine reaction. You're going to see the guy, the construction worker. Oh, I have 10 seconds. Okay, I'll come back later with that with my screen sharing of the guy of the construction. So yeah, I'm gonna let John talk.
All right, let's get John in here. Thank you, Kevin. Sorry for coming down on you there. We do want to try to make sure that we are discussing the topic on hand tonight, so we'll do our best to try to hone in on that. And but yeah, just don't take it any type of way. I'm just trying to keep things as on track as we can. So I'm gonna ask John to unmute himself. And thank you so much again, John, for coming in last minute. That was you're a legend tonight at Modern Day Debate. We appreciate you entirely for doing this. So I'm gonna put 6 minutes on the floor, and if you go over, I mean, I won't complain a little bit. Like I said, you coming out last minute? Yeah, let's do it. 6 minutes on the floor, John. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, I didn't even have 6 minutes to prepare for this, so I'm not sure how to share my screen or even turn my camera around, but I'm gonna try. So I heard what was his name? I can't see. McToon talking about going to Antarctica for the 24-hour sun. Um, I think it's kind of crazy that it's 2024 and the Globers are so desperate that they have to go to Antarctica in 2024 to try to prove a globe by looking at the sky. Because if there was solid globe proof, you wouldn't have to go to Antarctica in 2024 to try to prove anything. So that just shows me that they're really desperate. The globe is in shambles. The globe gets crushed every day. And speaking about the sun, if you want to try to prove the shape of the ground by looking at the sun, I have plenty of observations of the sun that debunk your 93 million mile away sun religion. So this is a sunset time lapse I did. I took a screenshot at the beginning and at the end with the solar filter. It changed 40%. There's plenty of other observations. This is Gotta Lie to Flurf sunset time lapse with solar filter. Changed 24% in diameter in 43 minutes. Here's Peter Markley debunking his globe religion. His sun also changed 40%. You could see the angular size changing. This is average glober. His changed 20%. So like I said, I just took screenshots at the beginning and the end of the sunset time lapses. The sun was 93 million miles away, and the small rotation of the Earth during the sunset, the sun would never, ever change in angular size. Crepuscular rays prove the sun is a local light. Also, the inverse square law of light. So we know with the inverse square law of light, when that light spreads out over distance, that's just the way light works. So according to the UV index, the UV global map, we see we have the most UV along the equator and between the tropics. And the sun apparently is 109 times the diameter of the little teeny Earth. So we know, according to the inverse square law of light, light spreads out over distance. So to get the UV index we see here, in reality, the sun would essentially have to be shooting a laser beam at the Earth. So really, in reality, the way we get what we observe is we have a smaller, more local light that goes around us like a clock between the Tropic of Cancer and for the summer solstice to the Tropic of Capricorn 6 months later in the winter solstice. And that's why we have the greatest UV index along the equator and between the tropics. They say we get our seasons from a 24.3 degree tilt that they can't prove. So the sun changing in angular size, the UV index, the inverse square law of light destroys your sun on your globe religion. Also, they say that the little tilt of the Earth or the curvature of the Earth is why we get our seasons. But the sun is 3.4% closer in the wintertime, 3.4% closer when we have our winter in the north. But we're in winter and it's 3.4% closer. The difference between the equator and the pole is 0.00004%. So you're going to tell me millionths of a fraction of a percent is going to cause this much of a difference, but the sun is 3.4% closer in the winter. Impossible. Also, let me turn my camera around. I don't know how to share my screen, but I'm glad we got a pilot up here. So airplanes prove that you're not flying around a curve. So we could look at the pitch data. We could look at the attitude indicator. Can you guys see me and hear me all right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see you.
Cool. We could look at the pitch data. We could look at the attitude indicator that's attached to the gyroscope that maintains its rigidity in space. Planes typically fly at a positive pitch of about 3 degrees. So when you're sitting in the cockpit and the plane is slightly positively pitched up, we could still look out of the cockpit and see the horizon rising to eye level. So if we lived on the globe with the radius of 3959, the Earth should be curving down and away, but instead it ramps up to our eye level. So the attitude indicator that's attached to the gyroscope that maintains its rigidity in space proves the plane isn't flying around a curvature, because if it was, you would see the orientation change on the attitude indicator, and it doesn't. So the first law of gyrodynamics is rigidity in space. So eventually, if you were flying around, I don't know if I have anything here, and I don't know how to share my screen, but if I could share my screen, I would show you a few things about the
John,
gyroscope.
to share your screen, move your mouse on
I think he's on his.
on
I think he's on his phone
the
right now.
space.
But let's not eat
I'm
up
on my
any of
cell
John's
phone.
time. So, John, you
Okay.
still got. I'll give you another 30 seconds on the floor, and then we'll get to our open discussion. But if you did want to do a screen share, you should be able to do it just by tapping on your phone screen, and it should be the same option. Actually, I'll just pause your timer if you want to take a moment, since you're brand new to Zoom. When you click
That's
on
all
your
right.
screen, do you see it?
I'll switch to wait, so how do I do it? Just so I know for the next time. I'm gonna jump to something else right now, real quick.
Okay. No worries. So yeah, if you just tap on the screen, there should be a little green icon, and it'll say share screen, even on the phone, and it'll just share whatever you got on your phone. So if you wanted to share something right quick, since everybody else, except for Robert, I think everybody else no, Robert did too, didn't you? Shared some stuff. So yeah, if you want to take a moment, we can do that, and then we'll get to the open discussion.
All right, that's all right. It was just really about the gyroscope and the attitude indicator, but I'll go to this since they were talking about a Santiago to Sydney flight. So I mean, if I had $1 for every time I heard Santiago to Sydney, even at being a flat earther for less than a year, I probably could retire. But anyways, there's a book, 16 Emergency Flight Landings. And there's more than just this one, but I'll just touch this one. This is Rio, which isn't that far from
10 seconds.
Santiago, to Sydney. And they made an emergency stop in LA. And on the globe, that's absolutely absurd. But in reality, it's almost a straight path.
All right. I think that's a good spot to wrap up the introduction there. So thank you so much, John, again, for coming out to Modern
Excellent
Day
job,
Debate.
John.
Yeah, we appreciate you being here. We are going to go into open discussion. I'm just going to set a 15-minute timer here, and we're going to get into it. So once again, if you haven't ever already, everybody hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate it. Oh yes, I got to be quiet. Everybody here is asleep already. It's late in Nova Scotia, so I got to behave myself. Don't get too animated. All right, let's get into that open discussion. I'm going to hand it back over to Robert and MC Toon to respond to some of what they just heard, and then I just kindly ask that you make some space for Kevin and John to inject with criticisms, complaints, and get into the open discussion. So let's do it.
All right, no problem. He gave me a whole lot of material here. So I'm going to start real quick because I did my own sun size observation using my solar filter on the P900. And so, oops, come here, you. Let me share my screen. I think I'm overlapping this a little bit. That's all right. So these are basically P900 max zoom. And just to kind of prove that, here is the XIO data from both images. You can see this one was taken at 5, sorry, that's the wrong one. This is the afternoon one. That's the morning one. These were taken at 5:50 a.m. The sun's just barely coming up across the horizon. You can see the focal length is 357, so at max zoom, and the exact same thing on the 1 o'clock in the afternoon one. So same focal length, which means the camera's both at max zoom. Look at that. They're actually the same size. So you would expect that the one where it's just coming up above the horizon, it would be much, much smaller. You know, my own P900, showing you the actual EXAF data says that what you showed is not correct. But if you're willing to show your exit data, that'd be great. Question for John here. Where is the sun in this picture? This is a picture I took.
I don't see the sun.
All right, so you see the rays. Looking at the rays, you made a comment that the rays will show you where the sun's at. So given that, where's the sun?
I don't see the sun.
Yeah. Well, how about give me 1 second here. Come here, you. How about in this one? Where's the sun?
I don't see it.
Yeah. So I
thought crepuscular rays prove.
Yeah, you said earlier that crepuscular rays prove where the sun is at. So I would think, okay, I'm going to follow these rays down. The sun's going to be, down here just above the trees. So do you agree with your statement earlier that the rays show that or no?
I didn't say it. I said that it proves that the sun is a local light because we're supposed to have parallel rays, but we don't observe that in reality.
That's not what we heard you say earlier. We said that crepuscular rays prove where the sun's at.
I said it proves the sun is local.
Yeah. So where's the sun?
Local. The sun is local. That's where it is. Not in 93 million miles away in outer space.
How do you prove that?
I just showed a bunch of stuff. The sun changed in angular size.
I already proved that doesn't happen. So next.
Okay. So you showed an observation that maybe it didn't happen, which is only exclusive to the globe. I showed 4 where
I'm going to go through your one by one, but
which is impossible on the globe. And I used your little globe priest too. Got a lot of flurf. Peter Markley, average glober, quite average of a glober, I must say.
Yeah. I hear that Tony's sending you messages. All right. So where's the sun at?
Oh, I don't see it. I don't know.
All right. So answer, you don't know. All right. Next one. You said the horizon always rises to eye level. How do you measure that?
Well, you could, the horizon is apparent. So I'm not sure if there's a way to actually measure the horizon. Because it changes.
All right, just before you respond there, Robert, Mike wanted to jump in, so I do want to give him a chance there. And also,
I think you kind of want to finish up this point.
No, that's okay. Yeah, go, Robert.
All right, go for it then. No worries.
Yeah. So if I'm a surveyor and I want to measure, what's level from my eye level, what kind of tool would I use to do that?
Yeah, plane surveyors that assume the Earth to be flat for 100
that's not what I asked. What kind of tool would they use?
To measure what again?
So if I want to measure from my eyes, I'm looking through the tool. I want to measure what's level straight out in front of me. What kind of tool would I use?
Maybe a theodolite or a total station. But the thing is, you're not measuring the horizon. So surveyors shouldn't be measuring horizons. That probably is out of the range of the tools. Plus the horizon is apparent. And also surveyors, if they account for any dip, it's because of light refraction. Not curvature. Surveyors assume the Earth flat for 100 square miles. They measure angles. Angles are straight and they don't curve.
So the statement you made earlier that the horizon always rises to eye level, that's false?
No.
How do you measure it then?
Yeah, you're backing away from that.
You could look at it.
Looking's not a measurement.
Yeah.
You could
why don't you use a tool like a theodolite to measure it?
Because the horizon is apparent. What's the definition of horizon?
Feel free to jump in, Kevin.
Go ahead.
Can you tell me the definition of horizon?
You're running away from your claim here, John. You said the horizon always rises to eye level. Now you're making excuses. You're making excuses for. You're making excuses. Hold on, let me talk. Let me talk, John.
I answered your question. I said you can't measure the horizon because it's an apparent position.
Okay,
why am I here?
Let's give Mike a chance to respond.
Yeah.
We don't want too much crosstalk. So Mike hasn't had as much floor time as Robert and John so far, so we're gonna give him the floor. And Kevin, like I say, feel free to jump in. Well, not any time. I'm giving the floor to Mike, but within reason. So go ahead there, Mike.
All right. John made the very specific claim that the horizon always rises to eye level, and we have on screen right now a measurement of the horizon not rising to eye level that Robert did himself. It's easy to measure the horizon and whether or not it rises to eye level. Everybody that has a smartphone has the ability to do that. You can install an app that'll measure that, and that's what Robert did there. So this is a falsification of your claim, and all of the words you've done, and all you've done is you've said, oh, never mind. All of the claim that you said now suddenly doesn't matter.
Okay, I just want to talk about your picture here, Mike. I know that these pictures were coming, but how hard is it to fake these pictures? There's an horizon and just draw an X there and write some number in the corner.
Hang on. Hey, let's let
Understand?
Kevin respond.
Can,
Okay, I'm
can
gonna
I
share
tell you
my screen.
something?
All right, just
Oh,
one
go
second,
ahead.
guys. Let's
Go
let
ahead,
Kevin
bro.
wrap his point.
Well, that's what I was saying. I knew pictures like that were coming, and so they're circulating on the internet in Facebook groups, kind of pictures like that. They add a cartoon line over the horizon line, and they say, "Look, it's over the eye level." Even more ridiculous than that, they have water container and they put it over the horizon line. The horizon line. They take a picture and look, it's over the eye level. Okay, can I share my screen now?
No,
Actually,
no, hold on. I just want to say, Kevin rejected
This
evidence
picture, this
without.
cartoon,
Hold
this
on,
is a
Kevin.
Hold on
cartoon.
one second, Kevin. I don't want to start the mutes. Let's let Mike respond,
Yeah,
and then we'll keep
Kevin
going back and forth.
rejected. Kevin rejected other people's firsthand taken evidence without any reason. So
That's not
Kevin's
firsthand.
standard, yes, Robert took that photo himself. Kevin's
Oh,
standard
yeah,
of
okay.
evidence is to automatically reject things that everybody, including the people that were here, personally did. So, Kevin, you do not get to apply a second standard of evidence to yourself. You must apply the same standard of evidence. So, I'm going to say everything that you present is faked.
yeah. And the very
That's
last
your
point,
standard of
very
evidence.
last point of this picture, this is a picture of a heads-up display inside of an aircraft. This isn't something, because Kevin tried to make a comment a little bit ago that, well, maybe my camera is not calibrated right. A heads-up display are always calibrated perfectly. So that long horizontal line all the way across the screen, that is level.
All right.
So again, you seeing level is way above the horizon. So the claim that the horizon always rises to level, you heard both flirts don't have a way of measuring it. They just say, well, now it's apparent, or now we're backing away from that. When you actually measure the horizon, it never rises to level unless you happen to be on the ground.
All right, we're going back to our main
I'm
screen.
gonna stop talking.
We're going to go back to
Okay.
our main screen for now and let somebody else share if they'd like. But let's try to have a little discussion on our main screen for our audience. So
Yeah, I
go
want to talk about that cartoon line. I don't believe, okay, frankly, I don't believe that Robert took these pictures. They're circulating on the net. Okay, everyone posts these pictures like, look, the line is the horizon line. Just let me talk. Okay, that's why I told you, Robert, I'm looking forward to see the footage in your cockpit. If you have a footage of yourself like the footage I'm going to
There's my phone.
demonstrate.
There's the
Hey,
picture I
okay,
took
no,
on my phone.
no.
Hold on.
That's not that's not what I'm saying, Robert.
I took the
That's not
picture.
what. Yeah, hey, listen for a second. When I said
all right, 10
I'm
seconds.
looking forward to see the footage of yourself in the cockpit, it's not picture on your phone. It's is footage of yourself getting in the cockpit and showing me this kind. You see now the horizon, and it calculates the line over the horizon. That's a picture that circulates on the internet. I don't believe that it's you who's
All right,
taking
let's
it.
let Robert respond to your main criticism there. So
I took the picture. We were coming back from
My
vacation.
phone.
We were coming back from vacation. You can't just say that I didn't take the picture when it's on my phone. I've got all the EXIF data. If I
It's
downloaded
on
it
your
from the
phone,
internet,
so you
Hold
I
took
wouldn't
it.
have
on.
the EXIF data. So lying about me taking a picture is ridiculous. I'm happy to show you pictures of me flying around in an airplane at 10,000 feet. But you know what? The horizon isn't that high up at 10,000.
Yeah,
Can I
let's
show some pictures
let's
real
hand the
quick?
floor over to John to share screen. So whenever you're
All right,
ready,
sounds
or if you if you haven't gotten the screen share ready there, you can always like do what you did earlier, and I'll try to blow it up for our audience. So I'm gonna mute you, Kevin, and let's carry on.
So he's showing pictures from 10,000 feet. People could go look up themselves. And the thing about the cockpit, like I was talking about, the attitude indicator that shows the artificial horizon, sky and ground, right? It shows you the altitude on there too, 37,000 feet. You could go watch videos of planes for yourself. This is a Boeing 787 full flight. And we can see the attitude indicator. If you watch the video, you'll see they're at 40,000 feet with a slight positive pitch. And where is the horizon? Eye level. So like I said, people could go watch these videos. There's full videos on YouTube where it shows the attitude of the plane. It shows the pitch of the plane, horizon, even with the plane slightly pitched up is always, you could look out of the plane and see it. So at 40,000 feet. At 38,000 feet, you should be able to see 238 miles with your naked eye. And at 238 miles, the Earth should curve 7 miles away from you. So when the plane is slightly pitched up and the horizon is still right here, is the Earth curving down and away 7 miles? Absolutely not. That's absolutely ridiculous. So, like I
Could
said,
you,
you don't
John, I
need
have a
to
question.
measure it. You don't need, you could just
I,
All
look
right, 5 seconds.
see that it's eye level. You can see
John,
that
I
the
have a
plane is pitched up.
okay. I have a
And
question.
you,
If at that distance and at that drop, what is the angular dip prediction? Could you show us the math for that, please?
no, I'm not, I mean, I'm not really sure, to be honest. I didn't do the
Oh,
math.
okay.
But
Then I'll just
yeah.
dismiss that. Thank you.
Show us the
I
map.
have if I can show something here quick just for reference.
But would
Um,
the, just a question, would the dip be due to Earth's curvature, or would it be due to light refraction?
yeah, the refraction causes things to appear slightly higher, not slightly lower, so it work against you in that instance. Okay, this here I'll
No,
just
that
read.
no,
Oh,
because
oh,
that's not true. Because when surveyors account for dip, it's because of light refraction.
yeah,
So
like I said that light refraction causes distant objects to appear slightly higher.
when surveyors count for dip, it's because of light refraction.
Yes, thank you for that. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay,
So dip, does that mean higher or is it dipping?
yeah, okay. I think you don't understand. Okay, anyway, here this says
Can you
this
can you tell me Snell's law of refraction anyway, by the way?
yeah, it's sine of theta 1 over sine of theta 2 equals n2 over n1.
Okay. And what about the mediums? Does it go through one medium? Or is it required too? But whatever, we don't even have
Yeah,
to talk
two
about that.
mediums. Yeah, and in the air, it's a
Cool.
constantly changing medium. It's not just the medium; it's actually the index of refraction. Let me read this here, just
All right, we
for
can see
reference.
that. I blew it up since you guys are
Okay,
making fun screen shares for me tonight, I see.
there you go.
Yeah,
The
thanks for
surveying
that.
operation of leveling takes into account the curvature of the spheroidal surface in both plane and geodetic surveying. The leveling operation determines the vertical distances and hence elevations and distances of elevation. So planar surveying includes vertical, thus curvature of the earth in planar surveying. The only thing that planar surveying does is the horizontal angles, which over 10 miles, 100 square miles is 10 miles in one direction, is less than a quarter of an inch variation over an entire 10-mile thing. So that's why it's acceptable in some instances to do that, but it's never a problem with the curve because the curve is always accounted for even in planar surveying. According to, here you go, 8th edition surveying by Moffat and Bouchard. There you go. Thank you, Ryan.
A1. We're back to our main screen, so if you want to go back to there's your face. All right, let's carry on there. Kevin, you want to respond?
Well, I want to share my screen to show first-hand observation. I'm looking for it right now.
Can I just touch on the plane surveying real quick?
Sure, yeah, let's try to dig into that vein a little bit more. So go ahead.
All right, so plane surveying is the method of measuring small areas of the Earth's surface by disregarding curvature and geoid effects. Plane surveying, where the curvature of the Earth is disregarded. Plane surveying, which assumes the Earth is flat. Okay, that's all the time I'll take. Thank you.
Yeah. Your Google summary results don't beat this textbook by an actual surveyor.
But it's
Well,
not because it's
mean,
written in a book
I have
that
a
it
book.
reflects reality. I'll
I
show
have
you
a
why
book,
later,
too.
Mike.
A plane surveying book that says the same thing. So
I want to share my screen.
All right, whenever you're ready there, Kevin, you can share away. And I'll remind our audience, once again, smash that like button, help boost us up in the algorithm. We got quite a crew hanging out here at Modern Day Debate watching the show and participating in our poll. Right now, we are currently sitting at 34% flat, 53% are saying it's a globe, and the 13% say it's a loaf of bread. All right, so once again, get your super chats in, grill the speaker that you really just don't find that they're getting to it or whatever. I don't know. Let's just carry on what Kevin's showing here. Looks very nice.
It is nice. And when you're there, that experience of being there, it's like you can't see it like on a screen like that. You see the view from forward. But when you're there, this is the sky pod at the CN Tower. There's two levels that you can go. This is the highest level, the sky pod. And you can't explain the feeling of having a 360 view like that, eye like that, and you can see that the horizon is at eye level. No matter how high you get, I don't need a cartoon line on a fake picture that Robert didn't take, even if it's
Not a
in
measurement. That's
I
just
can
an observation.
I can show you a lot of picture in my phone that I didn't take. Okay, I can assure you of that. It's not a proof that you took the picture because it's in your phone. I'm sorry about that.
Kevin, next time you do that,
And
load the tool on your phone and measure the angle to the horizon, so you come back with an actual measurement and
yeah,
not a baseless
sure,
claim.
Okay.
sure, I'll
Sorry.
do it. Okay.
Okay.
But
Can I respond?
I got another video
Can I
at
respond
Just
to
one
that,
second.
please?
We do want to make some space for some back and forth. So I gave you the floor for that
Okay.
space there. You can leave your screen share up. That's totally fine. But we're gonna let Mike respond to what you just put out there, and then I want to bounce John in here too if he's got some thoughts. So go ahead there, Mike.
Okay, well, that applying Kevin's standard of evidence is obviously faked. That's just a video that's been handed around on the internet.
Let's turn off the audio if you don't mind. If you're gonna
It's
share.
it's
It's because we
obviously
can. Hey,
it's obviously that Kevin just generated some CGI of that. It's not actually his. He
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
actually
that's
take it.
Mike. You
So
see, your
so
account.
All right,
Kevin
your
can't
account-
accept that evidence.
Hold on,
It's
you're
not
just-
acceptable
one
evidence
second.
by Kevin's standards. So definitely just disregard that evidence because Kevin obviously didn't take it himself.
All right, I'm gonna take you off the mute there. Let's carry on. So you want to explain what you got up there on screen, and go ahead when you're ready there, Kevin.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, because he thinks it's not real, I'm gonna play it with the sound, and we can hear my voice.
So I'm on the top of the CN Tower.
That's fake.
Nice flat horizon.
Yeah, totally fake.
Now it's flat horizon.
Compass.
Okay, so I'm gonna put it on mute and I'm gonna say, Robert, there's a reason why I told you, okay, I'm looking forward to see your footage from inside your cockpit. Footage, not photo on your phone. Yourself coming in the cockpit, okay? Like you can hear myself talk like on the film. If you say it's not real, it's fake, you didn't take it, you are a spectacular moron and you deny reality. I'm sorry, Ryan, for the insult, but that's what it is.
My
You can
virgin
hear
ears.
myself talking. Okay. And what's interesting in that movie, okay, is that my P900, I just bought it. This is a footage I took in 2019. And my P900 was brand new, so I brought it. This is a footage taken with my phone, by the way. And at some point, I put out the P900 to try it, okay? And at some point, the P900, the science of technology, okay, it's very brief, okay? It detects a yellow line. I don't know if you can see. I took a screenshot, and I have it in my phone somewhere. But look at the horizon at some point. You see the yellow line there? It detects a perfectly straight line, okay? And this is for kilometers. This is very far, okay? So the red, everybody saw the yellow line?
All right, you've had lots of floor time. Let's try to bounce it a little bit. I
Okay,
think
well, I'll come
Robert had
back
to
with
step
that
out.
later. If you cut me off, I'll come back with that later.
All right. Well, that obviously is faked. A video can't be. It's
What an
inadmissible. Applying Kevin's standard, you can't actually you take video or photos that you took yourself. It's not allowed per Kevin.
You're not the only
So,
one that can have a cheap P900. I got one too.
Yeah.
So, relevant.
That's too bad that Kevin had to bring that fake evidence.
Do either of you have commentary on what Kevin said about the horizon?
It's just again that he's basically saying he's looking out the window and saying it looks like it's at eye level, but he refuses to
It's not,
actually
it
measure
looks,
it, explain how to
my
measure it.
P900
Looking out the
detected.
window
Right,
is
hold
not
on there, Kevin. Wait, I did
What's
just ask
the,
them to respond.
Is the horizon apparent or physical?
It's apparent to each person, meaning if I'm standing next to you, I'm seeing a different horizon than you are because we have a different perspective. Where
Okay.
it meets is
Does the
physical.
horizon change over time, or does it always stay in the same spot? So if I took a time lapse of the horizon, would it be
Ooh,
the same throughout the
asked a question.
whole day?
Didn't allow the answer.
All right, I'm just gonna end the
I
screen
wasn't
share for
finished.
now. We're gonna
I
let our
wasn't
audience see
finished
us.
with my question.
All right, go
Well,
ahead.
actually, I'm happy to answer it. So if you took, say, I'm sitting at point A and I'm looking at the horizon on the exact same time every day with the exact same atmospheric conditions, nothing's ever changing, it would always be in the same place. But we know that's not the case because the atmosphere is changing, there's different levels of refraction. So absolutely, it's going to differ day to day. That's why when you guys show the picture of, oh look, I see Chicago from the other side of Lake Michigan, and you go look at the actual headline from the news article saying, yeah, this is a very rare event that we don't usually see this much of Chicago from Lake Michigan. You're like Eureka, it's flat, even though half the city is underwater. So yes, atmospheric conditions change all the time. You can see more or less. It varies.
All right, cool. So could the atmospheric conditions be a reason why at the bottom of those buildings, you're not able to see them? Or
No.
was
Absolutely.
refraction?
It also could be a very good reason that you don't see the bounds of the buildings because the Earth is a globe.
Okay,
Yeah.
so is refraction only subjective to the buildings that we're observing across, or is it also subjective to the water? Is the water subjective to refraction too? So what I'm saying is, could the water appear to refract up and block out the bottom of the buildings? Or does refraction only affect the buildings we're observing to make the earth look flat?
Refraction could affect anything.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
in general, I'll explain it since you don't have a depth on this topic. So
okay.
refraction will cause everything that you see, and the farther that it goes tends to have more effects of refraction because it has a longer distance to be refracted. So when the water is distant and say it's 20 miles away and the shore is 21 miles away, well, everything nearby gets refracted. So but it would not be where it's super selective, where just the water gets moved up and the buildings aren't. The water and the buildings would all get moved up, and what'll
So
tend to happen is there'll be vertical compression.
So you know the law of refraction, right? It requires two mediums. Would it be safe to say that the medium where the water is the densest medium? So the water would be more likely to have refraction than over land?
Yeah, and which way will it cause the light to bend?
It can make the water appear to raise up.
But which way will it cause the water to bend, the light to bend, just for reference?
Down?
Good, good. Okay. And what does downward refraction cause to happen to the observer?
The refraction makes the light bend down. It can make the water raise up.
There
Right?
you go.
Appear
Very
to
good.
raise up.
Also, the stuff above the water that goes through the air above the water gets raised up as well.
Yeah, so if we
Yeah.
can't see the bottom of those buildings, is it possible that we're not seeing the bottom of those buildings because of refraction?
No.
Oh, no. So refraction only refracts buildings up across Lake Michigan and other long-range observations, but doesn't do nothing to the water to block
No, it
out the
does
bottom.
both. It does both the water and the buildings. But because the water is generally closer and has less distance, it has less refraction, less effects to the water.
But
And as the
Michael,
water is farther away, the water that's nearest to the buildings gets approximately the same amount of upward refraction as the
Are the
buildings.
buildings on land or are they in the water?
It's the light path. It's not just where the buildings
So
are. It's the
since
path that the light
refraction
takes.
requires two mediums, I mean, if we're looking horizontally at, and the mediums are vertical, right? The density of the atmosphere is in vertical layers, not horizontal. So if
N-
we're observing things horizontally, and the only difference in density most likely would be the water, right? And you're
We're not
really
looking
going to
through
sit here
water.
and be honest with everybody that's watching and say refraction can't cause the water to appear to come up higher and block out the bottom of the buildings.
That's
That's
correct.
what
It
you're
can't.
saying?
It can't do
Yeah,
that. No.
you're very dishonest.
All right,
So
John.
Oh, well,
I-
I'll go
I-
ahead.
I-
show you.
my turn.
Show the application of refraction.
I'll show everybody how dishonest you are. Either you're just dishonest or you're ignorant.
All right,
Either
so John,
one.
let me John, let me ask
I
you a
don't want to
question.
claim you're lying. Maybe
All
you
right.
just don't know better.
All right, John, let me ask you a question. So if I'm observing something, we'll say a ship that's several miles away, and I'm observing it standing on the beach, and then I only see the very, very, very top of the ship. And then I raise the camera up, say 15 feet. So I'm still looking through 99% of the exact same part of the atmosphere. What difference am I going to see? I'm still looking through 99% of the same atmosphere, the same amount of refraction.
I don't really
camera up 20
care.
feet.
I'm about showtime, and I'm about to show you something. You could
I'm about
talk
to
all
show
you
it to you
want.
too, but can you answer the
So
question?
here, you mind if I still don't know how to share my screen,
All right,
but
Okay,
I'll
well,
let you
just-
do it first.
just one second. Just 1 second there,
just
John. I do
remember-
want to just in interest of fairness, where I did let you clarify your question earlier, I'll let Robert clarify his question, and then we'll let you do your screen share. So, Robert, if you want to ask your question, and we'll try to get the back and forth there for a second.
So
before
I just
that.
really want both their opinions. If I'm standing on the beach and I'm looking at a ship in the distance, I only see this much of the ship, and I raise the camera up 20 feet. So I'm still looking through 99% of the same part of the atmosphere, just at a slightly higher angle. What's the difference going to be in what I see of the ship?
wait, repeat the last thing you
All
said?
right, so I'm on the beach. I'm filming the ship. I
Yeah, I
see
heard all.
this
What's the
much of it.
difference?
I raise the
gonna be
camera up
what?
20 feet. I zoom in on the ship again. What's the difference going to be if the
Oh,
Earth
I
was
don't-
flat?
You go higher, see further, even on a flat surface. It's not exclusive to a globe.
So why?
Both models, yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
You're gonna see farther.
so maybe before I show you my video, can you take a moment and on a piece of paper, either you do this and draw out on if the Earth is flat, why you'd see further if the Earth was flat? Can you just draw on a piece of paper?
If I climb a tree in my neighborhood, can I see further down my flat street?
I'm looking
Of course
across
I can.
I'm looking across the flat ocean. There's no land,
course I
nothing like
can.
that.
Well, it's an
Nothing in the
example
way.
on a smaller scale.
Well,
It's an example of a
let's see the
smaller
application
scale,
of geometry.
Just-
Let's see it.
Wait,
Take a
so-
piece of paper
Yeah.
and draw it real quick on if the Earth
Go
is flat.
higher, see further. It's very
No.
simple. It's
No,
not
it's a
exclusive to a globe.
It's simple.
Someone go climb
Take
a
a piece
tree
of paper,
and see if you could see
draw
further down your
draw
flat
a
street.
flat line and show me how you see further onto the Earth's flat. Just do it
Are
for
you
me.
really clinging to it, Robert?
Go higher,
Seriously?
see further, bro.
Let's see the
That's
footage
simple.
from your cockpit. Let's see the
All right.
footage from your cockpit. You told me you had some.
All right.
I
You're a
do.
pilot.
Go ahead.
You're a pilot. Demonstrate that you are a pilot. Show us.
Okay, that's
You
not
like-
relevant,
like-
Kevin.
like
Kevin,
I
sorry, it's not relevant.
Good
I'm
job,
going to hand
Kevin.
it back to John. John, you wanted to share screen, so we may have to circle around, Robert. I did tell John he'd have the next screen share, so
That's fine,
just
yeah.
hold your screen share, and we're going to hand it back to John. So, John, whenever you're ready.
All right. So, for example, let me pull up because Mick Toon was talking about the Chicago skyline. Let me see if I can find it real quick. All right. So, here's the Chicago skyline from 57 miles. Maybe you can't see a little bit of the bottom of the buildings, but when you put into the Earth curvature calculator, the tallest building here is Willis Tower.
They're gone.
It's 1,451 feet tall. There should be over 1,800 to 2,000 feet of curvature, depending how much refraction you want to put in there. That's with adding your standard refraction, by the way. So we add refraction in here. We still shouldn't be able to see any of this. It should be completely hidden behind the curvature of the Earth, plus hundreds of more feet. But McToon, we just want to get this straight. Since you can't see the very bottoms, you said, oh, refraction is only selective to objects we're viewing across large bodies of water that make
I
the
didn't
Earth
say
flat.
that. Don't strawman me, please.
You said that the water couldn't refract up to block
I
out
didn't
the
say it
bottom.
was. I did not say it was
Okay,
selective. I
let's-
said it's very differently not selective. It refracts everything. You're claiming it's selective.
Okay, I was going to
Okay,
give you a chance
so-
to clarify,
so-
but let's just carry on there. That sounds good.
Are you saying now it can refract the water up to block out the bottom of the building?
No, I say it refracts everything. I'm saying it's not selective.
Oh,
You're
so
saying
it's
it is
even.
reflective.
It reflects everything evenly.
It depends on
refraction is
depends on
even
the distance.
across the.
Depends on the
Okay.
distance.
So I'm going to show you atmospheric refraction. Okay.
Now, I need to clarify some things. That's not 57 miles away, and you didn't put the right numbers into the Earth curve calculator. For that, that's typical flatty
You could
miss
say
Just one
whatever
second there,
you
John.
information.
So just 1 second,
You
John. I'll give you a chance to present your next thing, but before you go ahead and move into the next argument, I do want to give Mike a chance to respond. And like I say, I want to go around the panel if we can. So go ahead, Mike.
Okay, flatties typically get the distance wrong. The distance between the observer and the skyline is 53.3 miles. And they never put in the observer height. The observer height is, let's see, 180 feet above the water. They tend to put in 0 or 5 or 6 feet. And so the predicted amount of hidden is about 300 feet for the globe, which is about what's hidden.
So Joshua Nowicki was 180 feet over the water level. That's what
True.
you're saying?
That's
Where
correct.
he was in a skyscraper or something?
No, he was on the sand dunes on the shores of Michigan.
Of 180 feet.
Yep.
It's the first time I hear that number.
Well,
I'm
that's
not
because
saying
flat earthers don't want to do research. I've done the research. I can share it if you want.
Hey, Globers say it's a mirage. So
I'm not that, so you don't need to strawman me and put words in my mouth.
So you disagree with the theory that it's a superior mirage?
I'm saying refraction is happening. So don't try to put words in my mouth. Don't try to put me in a corner that I didn't say, okay?
I mean,
I will happily show the actual evidence instead of having you try to put words in my mouth.
The picture taken by Joshua Nowicki of Chicago skyline over Michigan Lake, okay? You understand that?
I will happily give a presentation on it right now if you want.
Okay, well, you get your bearings about you. We will move into that. That's totally fine. Let's keep exploring what you guys are putting down there. Robert, did you want to make any commentary on where we're going right now while MC Toon gets himself ready to present what he's going to put up there? All right.
All right. So since Kevin keeps asking for this so much.
Yeah, for the footage of cockpit, yeah.
Yeah, so
wait, but before I wanted to stay on this refraction topic real quick though.
Well,
because he turns it over to me, it's my turn.
Just one second. We'll come full circle.
Keep watching.
We're taking the one observation of the Chicago skyline.
Oh my gosh, John, shut up.
All right.
There's a bunch. Oh,
hey,
thank you. No, so anyway, we're taking the one observation.
Oh my gosh, John. What kind of a child are you?
Hold on. Just one second, please. All right, hold on. Just to both MC Toon and John, I'm just going to put you on mute for 1 second. We're going to put this from Robert to Kevin just because this was their criticism. So even though I don't think it's super relevant, to the underlying discussion, but let's go ahead.
I'm tired of Kevin calling me a liar, so here's me flying the airplane in the clouds.
I'm not going to stop calling you a liar because you say, okay, you show me a picture, a footage from your cockpit.
Yep.
That's a good start.
Yep.
But now what I ask is show me the picture you took earlier, okay, the picture that was in your phone. That was the proof it's in your phone that you took. Show me the device there, and you say, okay, and show me the line, the green cartoon line in real life, in this footage. Like, this is the photo I took. Look, this is the device. That's something you won't do because that's a picture that's
no matter what I show you
on the internet.
I can bring up the EXAF data from the photo, which I wouldn't have if I downloaded it from Facebook or some other place. I wouldn't. All that data is lost when you upload it to the web. I can show you the actual data from the
okay,
thing.
so you don't have it.
And say I didn't take it.
So you don't have it.
I do have it.
All right, guys, we're moving out of this discussion.
From a footage.
Right,
we're gonna move out. We're gonna move out because, like I say, it's not totally pertinent. Like who's in the driver's seat. It just matters what is it we're presenting and what we can back it up with. So MC is sharing now. I think that's fair. So MC, I will let you. You're ready to present what we were talking about earlier. So I'll let you steelman yourself.
All right, so here is the Joshua Nowicki position here. These are sand dunes on the eastern shore of the lake there. You can see the pin on the bottom on the left side right next to the shore, which is typically the position that flat earthers think that it's at, just above the water. In fact, he's up on this dune. The reason why we know he's up on the dune is because the news station went later with Joshua Nowicki. He said, this is where I was. There's a little tree up there. People found where the tree was. Here's the distance across the lake, 53.3 miles. We plug it into the Earth curve calculator. We put in observer height of 180 feet, target distance 53.3 miles, target size of 1450, that's the height of the building. And we get down there at the bottom, hidden height 301 feet. So that's what the globe predicts. So if you're going to say the globe predicts something else, it's incumbent on you to actually do the math. This webpage by Walter Bislin does the math, has all the derivations of the math. If you think it's wrong, it's on you to show where it's wrong and give the right answer for the globe.
Yeah, okay. Joshua Nowicki wasn't the only person
We're
took
talking
a
about this
picture.
specific one, not some other one.
Yeah,
So
yeah, well,
address the topic.
we're talking about
Address the
Chicago
topic.
across.
All right, we're gonna let him do. We're
okay.
gonna let him address it the way he does, and if
Yeah.
it's not good
Okay,
for you,
run
we'll
away.
hand it back to you.
Yeah, if you can mute Mike, please, because that's what he does. He's prevent me to talk. Okay?
No worries, I'm hovering.
Joshua Nowicki is not the only person who took a picture of Chicago skyline across Michigan Lake. Okay, when he took that picture, Joshua Nowicki, and on the news, we all saw the guy, the weatherman says it was a mirage. When it happened, Rob Skiba, okay, he rented a boat. He went there with his P900. He looked at Chicago live. We could see it. It was live. He looked at Chicago. We saw basically the same image as Joshua Nowicki. You have to do it on a clear day. No fog, nothing. It has to be a clear day to see Chicago. So Rob Skiba figured, yeah, they say it's a mirage. Let's sail there. So they zoom on it. They're on the beach, okay? And in the boat, they zoom on it all the way to Chicago to prove that it's not a mirage. Then they arrive to Chicago. The video is available for all to see on the internet. Rob Skiba is dead now, but the video is still on the internet. And I don't see it's the first time I hear that stat of 180 feet high. I don't know if where he took this, but I'm gonna research it later. But it's like today I had a
5 seconds.
conversation. I had a conversation with someone in a Facebook group, and we found out that the only person in the world who had located J.S. Christopher was in fact McToon. So I was gonna ask about it tonight, and then he comes with this data about Joshua Nowicki's picture that we've never heard of it. Where does it come from? And where does it come from? The information that J.S. Christopher was a resident at a retirement home. That you know who J.S. Christopher is, the one that his name is on the Gleason map.
You're throwing quite a bit out there, so let's let Mike, if you want Mike to respond there, Mike,
yeah.
and then I want John to get back in here too, because
we'll come back to it.
He's got another avenue to explore. So let's go ahead there, Mike.
Right. He didn't address the analysis I did. That's all. Thank you.
All right. Let's go back over to you, John.
Hey,
I know that you wanted to get into some other territories, so the floor is yours.
Yeah, so I've seen probably about a dozen observations of the Chicago skyline, and here's just one. Here's just one right here. It's from 80 miles. You could see blades of grass, and it's a silhouette. So silhouette is, how's a silhouette refract? Anyways, but I wanted to talk about the atmospheric refraction, because McToon said that everything just refracts up. But I mean, anyone could just go look at a time lapse of refraction. So this is one over a body of water. And you could see here where the green line is. We can see these trees here, right? So the horizon is apparent, and you'll be able to see from this video. And you could watch the trees get blocked from the bottom up, because he says it all just refracts. Buildings refract to make the earth look flat. But the water in between it, nope, can't block out the bottom because everything is refracted. So watch the green line, watch the apparent horizon, and watch the trees get blocked from the bottom up.
Interesting. Yeah, I saw it before.
So where's the green line? Where's the horizon now? It was way below. Now it's right. Where's the bottom of the trees? Earth's curvature must have just changed over this time lapse. Earth got, from here, it was down here to apparent horizon before. Now it's up here, blocking out the bottom of the trees, but it didn't refract this up over the curvature. It actually refracted the water up to make it look curved and block out the bottom. Rest in peace, globe.
I like this guy.
So you made an assumption about what was happening. You did not.
No, your globe is cooked, bro.
Sorry, I
have all the flat Earth.
I guess I don't get to talk.
Your globe has been debunked. I have another observation. If you give me 60 to 30 seconds of my own that I took with the P1000 debunking your globe, Your globe has been debunked over and over and over again.
Talk.
A fella
I thought I
can't
get a chance.
I can't have a bathroom break for just 2 seconds.
Nope,
Sorry to
you
put
can't.
you on mute there, John.
gotta
but,
hold it.
We do have to allow for some back and forth. You had the floor for a really long time, so I am going to. Yeah, I can still hear you, so I'm giving the floor back to the other side, Robert or Mike, to make some commentary on what you just presented, and then we will let you carry on and present some more. But like I said, we got to be fair. So go ahead, Mike or Robert.
All right. So he made an assumption about which one was the natural one, like whether or not the bulge would have been there or the trees would have been there, which one was the base case. In fact, in that particular instance that he had there, he has it right next to the surface of the water, and it's maximizing the amount of refraction. This is what flat earthers typically do. They find the most chaotic conditions, and then they say, let's go find some information from that. But you can't get information from that because you don't know the what's going on in the air there. None of that has been quantified, so you can't make decisions about what's going on.
Yeah. If I could, I'd like to kind of follow up on what I was doing earlier real quick. And since they refused to, make a simple drawing of how on flat Earth you could see further with elevation, I made a simple drawing for them. It's a cartoon, but,
Of course.
we made it for them just so that they can, here I am, looking across the flat plain. There's nothing blocking my view of the ship,
we don't
no
see
matter
anything,
how high I am.
Robert, we don't see
It's the same. Oops,
Are you talking about your green
All right,
screen?
I guess share.
or-
One more button. I hate Zoom.
Oh, it's okay. All right, just let me get the screen share up. I'm going to remind our audience that if our speakers want to, we'll move into the Q&A here shortly. So get your questions in, so they'll be read with priority. I have a feeling, though, that these guys might want to go for a bit of a round two, though. I feel like we're just starting some of the unpacking. So
We can
didn't talk
probably
about
go for
curve
5
building.
hours. But, all right, so this is the cartoon view, which is kind of appropriate for these guys. Of there's nothing on a flat Earth to block my view of that ship. There's nothing opposing it unless you want to count water mountains. There's nothing in the way of that ship. Where on the globe, again, cartoon drawings, just because it's something I threw together really, really quick. The globe, actually, as I'm lowering down, the Earth is blocking as I go higher up. Now I get to see more of the ship. And as a demonstration of that, again, I took this video, my own P900, Kevin. So don't call it fake, because I did it. Zooming on the ship, standing on the beach. This is coming out on max P900 zoom, so don't say, just keep zooming in on it, it'll come back. No, that's max P900 zoom. You're only seeing the very, very top of the ship. Bit of background real quick. The resort we were at, it happened to be on a hill. So it made it really easy for me to turn around and walk up the hill. So now I'm gonna start going up the staircase here to get one floor elevation at a time. I'm gonna jump ahead here just for time's sake. There we go. So now I'm about 20 feet higher. Now I'm zooming back in again. Oh, look, there's even more of the ship now available. I'm going to
But
jump
who
ahead.
says
Hang
that
on.
the ship
I'm not
stayed
done
at
yet.
the same spot?
I'm not done yet, Kevin. Shush.
Okay, but who said that
Shush,
the
Kevin.
ship?
Gosh.
Shush.
Be,
all right,
be an adult.
we
I'm
did hear.
done. You can
All right,
talk.
just to be fair, yeah, we'll let you wrap up here, Robert, right quick if we can. And I think we did hear your criticisms, so just let's give it about 15 more seconds to wrap this one.
You can see how much higher I am now. Zooming back in on the ship again. Oh, look, I see even more of the ship, and I'm going to jump to the very last point just for conclusion. This is as high as I can go, because now I'm probably about 70 feet up. And wow, there's the ship. So explain how that happens if the Earth is flat.
All right.
Well, first of all, I own a P900, okay, and I know.
So do I got it right next to me.
When it's right there, okay. I own a P900, and I know that when you zoom in, you see in the screen the little drawing of your zoom if you're at max or not. Now, a surprise, we don't see it in your screen. So
Kevin, do you think I'm filming the screen? No, this is the footage from the camera. I'm not filming the screen. Are you really that moronic? That you
Kevin,
I know.
Kevin
No,
only films the screen of
I'm
his
not done.
P900 with his phone.
Hold on. These guys are having their back
I'm
and
not
forth
done.
right now, Mike.
Look,
Behave for 2
they
seconds.
didn't
here.
even understand.
Actually, it's been great, but hold on there.
They don't even understand.
Let me
They don't
video
let me
something
talk.
and video my camera.
They
Why would I do
make
that?
their own story in their head of what I mean, and he's a moron. You don't even know what I'm gonna say. So who's the moron? The one who interrupts and makes up his own
All
story
right.
in his
Hold
head.
on, hold on, hold
Okay?
on. We can't
So
just.
what I was saying
Right.
is, how do I know that you were at max zoom on your first attempt? And secondly, how do I know you were not at maximum zoom when you went up? And secondly, when you went up, the boat it sails. It doesn't
All right.
stay at the same spot.
That's the last
So
point we
it's
can
not
do.
like
We
you
get
make
it.
the test.
We're handing it over to Robert, Kevin. We can't just keep putting stuff out there. We got to let him respond.
Yeah.
And
That's okay. Kevin
Mike-
already made his
Mike's
point
just
that he
injecting with
can't
the
answer
chaos.
it, and he's making lots of excuses. So
What?
they can't answer why with elevation we're seeing more of the ship, other than saying, "Oh, it's the same." But when I asked them to actually show me anything that would show it would be the same on flat Earth, they can't. This one's never been debugged. Flat Earth dead. Sorry, John.
Go higher, see further. It's not exclusive
Not
to
on
the
flat Earth.
globe. You could climb a tree. You could
That one's
climb a
done.
ladder.
All right,
Anybody
next
could do
topic.
it.
hold
I
on
know
a
you
second,
want to
Robert.
keep interrupting me and telling everyone
on
to
mute.
shut up. Just shows how triggered you are and how you can't
Call
control
people
yourself.
morons.
But anyways, I have a P1000. Okay, step your game up with your P900. And here's an observation I made with my P1000.
Yeah,
that-
your low tier cameras.
So anybody can go do this themselves. Anybody listening, you guys can go do this yourselves. So I debunked the globe myself. So this is an 18-mile, 16 and a half to 18-mile observation. Before I even zoom in my P1000, I could see across here 16 and a half to 18 miles. And all these buildings that we're seeing here are between, they go from 8 stories on the right to 5, 4, 2 stories. Basically, when you put this in the Earth curvature calculator, we shouldn't be able to see any of this. So I'm in Sunset Beach, New Jersey. I'm looking over to Rehoboth Beach and Dewey Beach in Delaware. And everything we see back here should be completely hidden behind Earth curvature. So anyone, you could go debunk the globe yourself, just like I did. Just go out and do it yourself. The globies are going to say refraction, but we already showed how refraction could block out the bottom of things. And refraction is 2
5
mediums,
seconds.
and the gradient goes vertical. We're looking horizontal, but we can see what refraction does to water to block out the bottom of things.
All right, I set another 10-minute timer there, guys. So let's try to unpack a little bit more. We'll get into the audience questions here shortly. So, Robert, I'm going to
wanna
take
say
you off the
something.
mute there. If it's quick, Kevin, because we got quite a bit thrown
Yeah.
out from
Yeah.
John there.
Yeah, it's about the observation of a boat. Just so everyone realize that a boat is a moving object. So you can't on that picture, you didn't have someone on the phone sending you some picture. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? Did you know the position of the boat? You're laughing because you're nervous and you know where I'm going.
Oh no, it's great.
Okay.
Go.
Go
Don't let
ahead,
my
Kevin.
laughing
This is fun.
interrupt you.
So
Go ahead.
if you take a zoom in of the Chicago skyline, you know
Yeah.
exactly how far is it. But the boat, you don't know unless you have someone on the boat who's sending you his position. Just like I was explaining last time, the bet I have with my friend has the boat, but it's not the friend who has the boat who have a bet with me, and he's sending me his position. So I'm at 5 kilometers. We're supposed to have a drop of 1 meter 96 or 2 meter, depends of which formula you use. And then, okay, I still see you with my P900. Keep going. So at 10 kilometers, he's sending me his position. I don't know why this guy thinks it's funny.
All right, 5
because
seconds.
it's a fact that they don't know the position of the boat when they're looking at it. It's a moving object. How
All right.
would you know the position if you
I'm
We
gonna
got to
let
let the
you-
other fellas jump in, and I do,
Yeah.
Mike. You got to let everybody else in on what's going on. You can't just be keeping all that laughter to yourself. Tell us what's got you all in hysterics,
tell
right
us,
quick.
tell
Let's
us.
go over
Yeah,
to Robert.
It's
What's going on?
It's a giant ship, and he thinks it's moving laterally, moving sideways. That's funny.
All right.
Like he doesn't know how
Water
ships
skier behind
work.
it.
All right, over to you, Robert. I
Okay.
just trying to understand what's got you going over
Do you
there.
know the position of the ship?
All right.
Doesn't matter.
All right. So first,
Do you know the
and
position of the
Kevin,
ship?
quiet. It's my turn.
All right, 1 second there,
Flip
Kevin.
it.
I don't want to put you on mute. Go ahead there,
All right.
Robert.
So, Kevin, on this particular case, no, I didn't know the exact position of the ship.
Exactly.
I'll admit that. Huh? All right. But I'll tell you something really cool. There's a cool website. I think it's marine traffic, I think it is, .com. Every ship has a GPS tracker, and they're
Okay,
uploading
let's
their
talk
position.
when you do the experiment,
Kevin,
when you
it's my
know the
turn.
position.
Hold on, Kevin.
Kevin,
Just
my
1
turn.
second. I'm just going to place you on a brief mute. And go ahead there.
Yes.
We'll let you wrap your point.
When I did this video, they didn't have that tracker yet. If I do it again, if I get the opportunity, I will actually pull up and get the location of the ship and be even more precise. I would say the same thing to John. Next time you do that observation, if I'm going to do the observation, I'm going to have the GPS coordinates of where I'm standing. I'm going to have the coordinates of what I'm aiming for. I'm going to do it on a day that the atmosphere isn't mush like it was on the day you did it. That was an extremely mushy day. So you're looking at blobs out there. So that's my comment on that. Let's go
Yeah,
into.
I have all,
Hang on.
I have
All right,
all
hold on.
that.
I
I'm
do
not
want to let
done
John.
yet.
I do want to let John respond. So if you can hold your thought, just because you did invoke something that
Okay.
you said earlier. So let's go ahead and let John respond.
Yeah, I have all that. I got a call when I was sitting on the toilet bowl. I had less than 5 minutes, not even, to get ready for this debate. So I don't particularly have everything, but I have all the elevations. I have the exact distance. The one building, 16.992 miles to be exact. The one of them off the top of my head. I was at 4.5 feet elevation. My camera height was 4.5 feet. I have one of my friends who took some pictures of me making the observation. Yeah, I have all
Okay,
that, but like
how
I
about you
said,
put it all together in a video, and we'll meet offline another time, and we'll look at it.
Just
Alright.
gonna undo all the mutes there. So I will let you guys know we got a lot of super chats coming in. Witsit Gets It, Silver Phoenix, thank you guys for your super chats. We are going to ask those shortly. I've got about we got 5 minutes on the counter here. So
Okay.
if there's anything we want to wrap up, let's get to it.
All right, I'm going to show one more topic just because John had brought it up. Shout out to Witsit. I love to debate him and Nathan Thompson sometime, but they're afraid to debate me. But throw out to that. All right.
Oh, well,
right.
you hear,
Okay.
you heard that.
I'll
Let's
debate
make it
you
happen.
again
last
with
topic.
Nathan.
Don't
I
shout.
guarantee
Last topic.
Nathan will come do it.
Oh, yeah.
Last
I'll
topic.
volunteer right now. Me and Nathan against you and whoever else you
Sounds
want.
great. Let's do it.
No one is scared of you, man. No
Let's do
one
it.
is
All
scared
right,
of you.
last topic, because John brought it up. Attitude indicators in airplanes. There seems to be this premise from FLIRS that you start up the airplane, the attitude indicator calibrates itself, and as you're flying across the globe, that indicator never actually adjusts itself. So as you're going around the globe, it would be all skewed and the airplane be climbing off into outer space. That's not how they work. So you take an attitude indicator, only shows you the plane's position in relation to the Earth of where you're at that point in time. It continually adjusts itself to maintain that it's upright in relation to where you're at in the globe. How does it do that? There's a couple different ways that they do that. Mechanical gyros, which we don't use them often anymore. Now they're all electronic, but mechanical gyros have something called pendulous vanes. There's a couple of ways they do that. And what those vanes are, I'm going to be really quick on this, just sharing it real fast. They are little weighted pieces of copper.
Yep, I have the screen share ready, but let's try to keep it contained to about 15 seconds.
Okay, I'll be really quick. They basically have these little veins on the bottom of it that are weighted. So if the gyro starts getting too far off center, it opens up the ports. The air inside the gyro basically pushes it back level again. So the gyro is constantly adjusting itself to maintain itself upright to the relation of the Earth so that you know what the airplane is doing in relation to the Earth. So the first claim that, no, it's going to be rigid in space from takeoff to landing is simply not true. So if you can prove me otherwise, go for it.
I'd like to share my screen just for a few seconds, just to show a movie. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, we got it.
Just bear with me. Yeah, they can still see that.
Have you guys seen that movie, Flatten the Curve?
Yep.
Yeah, with pilots and navigator. They became flat earthers, and they explained to us how it could be impossible to calculate flight path and like radar wave, the way they travel. It's impossible on a ball. Like when you think about it, you send a radar wave. It's not curving to reach something on the that's hidden by the curve. It's so logical. The way they talk, the tone they take, it makes you realize that, yeah, the globe is absolutely clownish, ridiculous, and the fact that they are pilot, navigator, and they in that movie there's the guy Eddie Allen Carr, which John brought up earlier. He wrote the book 16 Emergency Landing, which prove flat Earth. Okay, and there's a lot of info in that movie. I suggest everyone who didn't see that movie to go see that. It's Flatten the Curve, the documentary in 4K.
All right.
So Kevin, I got a challenge for you.
Go back to our main screen and let's carry on. We only got a couple more minutes.
Kevin, challenge for you. I will go through every single one of those 16 landings, emergency landings that Eddie did, and I will show you why every single one, why he lied. I'm happy to do it. We'll probably spend 2 hours doing it because I've already debunked every single one.
Okay.
His biggest mistake was he used the Mercator map, which is a projection to represent the globe, which is all wrong.
Yeah,
so when you actually map these routes using the globe and not a projection, it makes more sense on the globe. So not tonight because it would take us 2 hours. But I'm willing to go through with that and show you why Eddie lied.
Sure. And we can.
John's trying to get in here. I think that's where we should probably leave that one there, guys. I think we've unpacked. So, John, you were trying to show our audience something there. Did you want to expand on what you're getting into there?
Yeah, so the top of descent calculations prove that the Earth is flat too, but also he was talking about the gyroscope. And just to explain how these things work, the attitude indicator is attached to the gyroscope. The artificial horizon. Rigidity in space is the first law of gyrodynamics. It makes the gyro stay in its horizontal position during any pitch, nose high, low, or during any movement. So it doesn't matter what the plane is doing. If the Earth is curved and spinning, this gyroscope always maintains its rigidity in space. It's the first law of gyrodynamics. So you can see here, say the base is the plane's changing in orientation, but the gyroscope isn't. And like I said, it's regardless of what the ground is doing.
So here's the cool thing, John.
Or any external forces. So the gyroscope.
John, I agree with you. What you're missing is that gyro, we'll take our cup, is rigid in space where the airplane's at that point in time. So that if the airplane starts to bank, the pilot knows it's banking. It's always adjusting itself so that it knows where it's at in relation to the Earth. So that
did you not just do I have to read it?
What you posted is correct. It's absolutely correct. What it didn't say, what it didn't talk about is how the gyro stays upright. That's the point you're missing. I'm done.
Yeah. Like I said, it doesn't matter what the plane is doing. It literally says it right here. The gyro.
John, I've been a pilot for 21 years. As soon as you get your pilot license, you might have something to talk about.
And as a new flat earther, now that's an appeal to credentials fallacy. And as a new flat earther,
21 years of being a pilot is a pretty good.
I smoke pilots on a regular basis, so I have to teach you how your gyroscope works in your plane. Hopefully, you don't have many.
Obviously, you don't know how they work. You don't know about pendulous veins.
Let's start doing questions.
I'm reading from this, telling you how it works, but it can't.
Look at something you don't understand. All right, Ryan, let's go to questions.
Appeal to credentials fallacy.
All right.
The gyroscope maintains its rigidity in space. If the plane was flying over the curvature
pendulous
of the Earth,
veins, dude. Where are the pendulous veins?
What about before
they're designed? They're designed with pendulous veins. You need
when did they come
John
out?
came in last second.
When did they come out with pendulous veins?
Long time.
That's the beginning part of attitude indicators.
And still, even till now. Even till now, all gyroscopes don't have pendulous veins. So nice try.
All modern gyroscopes are now solid state devices. We don't even have mechanical gyros anymore. Everything's electronic.
All gyroscopes?
They're electronic.
Don't have pendulous veins.
The airplane I fly has
Hold on, Robert. Robert, we're giving last word to John here.
I know you're triggered and you want to talk over me. I always let you talk. Gyroscopes didn't always have pendulous veins, and all gyroscopes till this day still don't have pendulous veins. So nice try. The gyroscope
nice try. Go learn about airplanes and then come back.
The ignorance
and if the plane was flying over the curvature of the Earth, it would show up on the attitude indicator. The orientation would change. but it doesn't. Prove planes
Alright.
don't fly around the curved
Let's
earth.
go to
All
questions.
right, let's get into those
GG.
questions, guys. So we're gonna
Hey
hop into our
Ryan,
live chat.
can I have a 5 minutes for myself
No.
for a particular topic?
I'm so sorry. No, we do have to get into the questions. Some people are on limited time, so I am going to push into the super chats. Let me just see how long we've been going here, just for the sake of courtesy. Yeah, so I'm going to set a 60-minute timer. We're going to try to stick to that. I hope that works for everybody. Perfect. Let's see. Yeah, I don't hear too much objection, so let's just do that, guys. So yeah, if you have a question for anybody here on screen, get it in now. We are going to read your questions and try to push the conversation in a direction you'd like to see it. So there's a lot of super chats in already, so yeah, definitely get it in as soon as you can, so we can ask it nice and early, because this could take us a little while, and as we get into the later ones, we may have to speed things along. I'm just going to pause the timer for 1 second, though. I'll do a little bit of extra housekeeping and let our speakers have a minute of zen if they'd like to. If you guys want to grab yourself a drink of water, if you need a bathroom break, speak now or forever hold your pee.
Yeah, but Ryan, I want absolutely tonight to talk about the curve building. I promised I was going to
You
talk
had your
about
chance
it.
at the beginning.
No,
Okay. Hold on.
Didn't
All right, hold on. Both.
After we're done with questions,
All right.
if Ryan's willing to stick.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put you all on mute for 2 seconds, guys. I'm so sorry. I actually, John wasn't even saying anything. John, why'd I put you on mute? That's just rude. John can come back. All right, all right. So we are gonna go into the questions. But yeah, no, it doesn't seem like anybody needs to go anywhere. That's totally fine. If anybody wants to ask a question related to that, if you want to help out Kevin and ask a question related to the exact topic that he just mentioned, let's just do that. But I'm not going to push the conversation at this point. We need to engage with the audience now. So oh, Robert just stepped out. So yeah, once again, everybody, smash the like button. We really appreciate it. Lots of people hitting the like button, and tickle it. Do whatever you have to, right? It makes a funny noise when you hit it. It's new, I swear. Isn't that the meme? All right, Mr. Shonk is our first question for $5. Says, I just want to say that the Rowbotham's experiment was flawed. He never accounted for refraction. It was retested by Alfred Wallace, who did account for it.
Very true.
Yeah. What is it a question for the flat earthers?
And Wallace won the bet and got paid.
Yeah, that's the story. But the story, the main narrative is made so we believe in the globe. But can we make the experiment ourselves? That's the thing. I think like me, I prefer do things myself. Like, let me share my screen here, please, with the sound.
He's going to go off topic. Watch.
Okay. On my YouTube channel, I put my research, okay? Like, and I do things myself, like here chat with a construction worker. And here it's like it's a remix. When I say I destroyed the Chili Twins, it's Michael Toon and Craig McNeil here chat with employee of Michel Normandin, the arena where I took my measurement, which I presented earlier. Okay, so the chat with the construction worker, well, we're gonna see it in that video. Okay, so here it's on mute, perfect. Okay, here what we see here, it's two laser levels, just like the one I'm holding here, okay? But mine is there's a green ray, so it's even better than these one, okay?
Right.
And I'm gonna
give you 10 seconds, and then we gotta let.
I'm gonna talk with
respond.
the guy, okay, the construction worker, who works with these level, okay? I'm gonna have a chat with him, and
just a quick question: How long is this chat, Kevin? Just real quick, how long is this chat?
Oh, the chat is it's in two parts because I chatted with him that day and I bumped into him another day. And what I was saying is,
I'm so sorry. I'm gonna end the screen share. We're in Q&A right now. Like I said, we do have limited time. If you could just explain what it is that you discovered through chatting with this person, because you have a partner here as well who probably wants to respond as well.
Trying to avoid this topic because he knows he's gonna look like a fool, and it's all related to the clip I presented of him saying.
All right, Kevin, I'm in agreement that once we're done with questions, I would love to address this with you. But let's get through questions first, and then we'll come back to your curvy building.
Guys, you hear me?
Curvy
You
buildings.
stuttered for a second.
I had this feeling you were going to try to sneak that in there, Kevin. Like, yeah, behave yourself over there. I want to get John in and engage with our audience member here. So they just said, I just want to say that Rowbotham's experiment was flawed. He never accounted for refraction. It was retested by Alfred Wallace, who did account for it. So did you have anything to say to our super chatter here, Mr. Shonk?
No.
No, okay. All right, I think we should move on from their panel, and like I said, let's try to keep it on topic for what our super chatters are asking here. So, Slow John Doe says, in order for the world to be flat, the entire history of the worldwide scientific endeavor would have to be a hoax, right? I don't know. I'm just a layman.
Well, right. The whole history
Slowly,
is a lie
apparently.
when you look into it. Is it my turn to talk? I don't want to interrupt anyone.
Sorry, I was just joking around with the super chatter, but yeah, go ahead. There might have been a delay. Sorry about that, Kevin.
Well, the person says that our whole history would have to be a lie. Well, yeah, if you look into it, it's like we were saying the other day, like the old buildings that we knew they existed, old civilizations that we knew nothing about existed. So the fact that we ignore this prove that our history is a lie. Our whole history is a lie, like we were talking about Christopher Columbus. That's a lie that we know it's a lie, but we keep teaching it at school. School, okay, like I was saying the other day, there are good things at school, but history, you have to double check. Don't take what you learn at school, what the government tell you to learn. It's the government who decides what we learn at school. So always double check what you learn at school.
Let's
And,
give this to John to have a little commentary as well. So he might just sympathize with your commentary there, but we'll just give John the floor to answer Slow John Doe. In order for the world to be flat, the entire history of the worldwide scientific endeavor would have to be a hoax.
Yeah, I mean, history is just his story, you know, just like Cue Ball was saying, Christopher Columbus discovered America, but there was already people here. This is how deep the indoctrination is. 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue, the Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria. Like, that stuff will never leave my head, you know? And that's why they teach the globe model since before people are in school. Babies are in cribs, little planets spinning above their heads and stuff. You know, it's drilled into your head since you're too young to even remember. And even kids, when they're in kindergarten and the teacher shows them the globe, it says, this is what we live on. And they say, well, how come people in Australia aren't falling off? And how's water sticking to the spinning ball? They just say gravity. And even still now, grown men in 2024, when there's a problem with their globe model, they just say gravity. And that solves everything. Because without gravity, your whole globe falls apart. And gravity still hasn't been scientifically proven. It went from mass attracting mass in 1666 to the bending and warping of space-time. And now they're looking into quantum gravity and everything when it's really just relative density and electrostatic.
Right.
So
I'm going to allow for a very quick rebuttal if you would like, and then we'll let Kevin and John wrap it. So Mike, Robert, would you like to respond?
That was a shotgun of derp. Thank you very much for embarrassing yourself. Definitely
Thanks
gravity does
for
exist.
your great thoughts there, Mike. I could always count
thanks for
on you.
your ad hom.
Robert, do you have anything you'd like to respond?
All your ad homs show me what's really going on in your head right now. All the and the shut ups and the derps.
I just want to finish up the question so I can address Kevin's curvy buildings.
Oh, the curvy buildings. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, hear that, Kevin. Maybe we'll just have to roll that. No, I don't want to play right now. I don't want to play games. I got to turn off Steam, everybody, so you don't hear people trying to invite me. I'm so sorry about that. NASA Security Force. Oh, wait, above that. Mr. Shong says, CGI refraction perspective. Do your research. Not super targeted, but CGI refraction perspective. Do your research.
I think that they're poking fun at the flatties because they like to say that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, if you're maybe, yeah, maybe put some quotes on that or something. Help us out there, guys. You know, a little direction never hurt. Hey, while I'm at it, and maybe I should have done this while we were chatting earlier and just leading up to the super chats, I should have put up the final poll. I like to do who did you find the most compelling on the panel tonight? So I did wrap up the last poll at 500 votes just to try to keep things on par. And the results were in the chat there, so hopefully you saw them because they just rolled right on by. So, who did you find the most compelling? I'm going to read this out loud while I do it so that you guys can hear what's going on. So, we got MC Toon, and I'm going to remember that it's capitals this time. I'm not going to put Mick because we got a lot of Scottish people over here in Nova Scotia. You know how it is. All right. Once again, I'll also remind our audience, I think it's February 15th, 16th. Don't quote me on that. We're going to be in New Jersey doing a live debate con. Yeah, Craig was at me the other day saying he'd love to do an in-person debate for Debate Con. I'm going to be there for this in-person event, traveling on down. So, yeah, if you can make it, we will eventually have our tickets posted in the live chat. With all that said, keep your super chats coming in. We really appreciate them. All kinds to get through. Who did you find the most compelling on the night? We've got that in the chat now. So let us know. We're going to ask your questions henceforth. Let's ask these
I'm in New
questions.
Jersey, by the way. Can I go? Can I go to that?
No, you're not allowed. No, I'm kidding. Of course.
When is it again?
You know what? Let me double check. I got the text here from James. Oh, they're inviting me for. They're inviting me for more games. I'm so sorry to the audience. They're hearing this. I don't think our speakers can hear it. It's the Steam. I'm just too popular. It's hard. No, I'm kidding. All right, it's the 15th to the 16th of February. All right, so hopefully we can see you there. We can have a beer together or whatever you want to do. That's my Naruto cup there. There you go. Awesome. NASA Security Force says Kevin is QAnon. Is space a globalist? Oh, Kevin. I don't know if we really want to engage too much with this one there, NASA Security Force. You're just kind of trying to poke an unnecessary bear and stop inviting me to games. All right. We're going to close Steam, everybody. Bear with me. Quit. Exit. Get out of here. I don't want you guys having to keep hearing that. All right. Sea Lion Prime. Actually, sorry, right about that. King Conquest. You might know this individual. They say, Toon, how are you not bored after all these years? So how long have you been doing debates related to this topic there, Mike?
5.5 years debating live, I think.
Now, do you still get the same thrill and the same rush from the first day that you did it, or has it changed? How do you feel it's evolved? Let's we'll entertain this super chatter and then we'll move on.
Sure. I enjoy it. I mean, I know all the things they're gonna say. Nothing surprises me anymore. So.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Why you don't want to talk about curving buildings then?
Oh, we're gonna get
my
there,
gosh.
Kevin. Don't worry. Out to the questions.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Kevin, you child, you had a dedicated time at the beginning to do it. You
6
yapped
minutes.
the whole time. Yeah,
6
you had the whole
minutes.
time dedicated.
Yeah,
You
I
couldn't
need
even,
an hour.
You couldn't even focus long enough. This isn't
Yeah,
a
bring the
presentation.
topic. Bring the
This is a
topic
debate.
yourself.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, are you scared
Grow
to
up,
talk
little
about
boy.
it?
Not that this
I
isn't
know,
exciting, but
Kevin.
Kevin, honestly, yeah, we did have the chance to have the open discussion. We're going to engage
You
with the
had your
chats.
chance, Kevin.
But I'm going to remind our audience, help Kevin out. Ask a question about the curvy buildings. He really wants to talk about the curvy buildings. And I'm not opposed to letting you talk about curvy buildings if somebody asks it. So I'm going to ask you to follow the rules here. We're going to try to keep on track for what the audience is asking. And if we want to come back and talk about, buildings, I don't know if you said curvy buildings or that's just something they're saying. But either way, you want to talk about curvy buildings, we are your platform. But as for tonight, let's answer these questions. We are on borrowed time. Sea Lion Prime says, can the flat earthers describe a kinematically equivalent solution to GPS triliteration over a flat earth? We know it works on a spherical model. The calculations are open source. So I'll let you start with that one, John.
I don't know. GPS used to be ground positioning system, so I don't know too much about GPS to be honest.
GPS has never been ground positioning system. It's
Never.
always been global. It's always been satellite
Okay.
based. The other
Satellite.
great thing of being a pilot
Can
is
you
you can
speak
be in
up,
the
Robert?
absolute middle of nowhere and it works great, even though there's no cell towers for hundreds of miles in the middle of the ocean. GPS works great. You could be in Antarctica as Mike. Hey, Mike, that's another good thing for you to test when you're in Antarctica. Please do a GPS test.
It's one of the tests, one of the 16.
And so no matter where you're at in the world, as long as you got a view of the sky, GPS works, even though you're thousands of miles from any towers. So
Hey,
global
Robert,
positioning system.
did you take the picture that's behind you? Did you take it yourself, like the picture that's in your phone
Of course not.
from your plane?
Of
Did you
course not.
take it
Quit
yourself?
being silly.
All right, let's ask the next one. A monkey cat. Pat says, question for both sides. Can you show any measurement of flat or globe to support your claims? I want actual measurements from both sides. Go ahead. All right, so monkey cat, Pat. Oh, fine, we'll do 1 minute per person. So, can you show any measurements of flat or globe to support your claims? Where should we start? I don't want to put John right on the spot because he just got here. Like he said, he just, he was like me. He just got here flying by the seat of his pants. That's just how we do it, right? So let's hand it over to
Well,
Robert and give
I
you a
could go.
second.
It's cool.
Okay,
I
cool. No worries. I was going to hand it
yeah,
over elsewhere. I just want to remind our audience that, you came in here you're very improv and we appreciate you. So go ahead there, John.
yeah. So I showed two already. I don't know if they were watching then. The sun changing in angular size, a sunset observation I did with a solar filter that changed 40% in diameter, and also an observation across the ocean from New Jersey to Delaware, 16 and a half to 18 miles. That should have been completely, everything across should have been hidden behind the curvature. And it's not because there's no curvature.
All right, let's go around the panel here. Robert, would you like to give your 1 minute response for this super chat?
Yeah, sure. And I already showed counter observations to John, showing that his were false. So, he said he said we can go around for hours and hours and hours. And it depends what type of measurement they're talking about. They're talking about, somebody who's actually gone out with precision measurements and said, I measured over a mile period. I'm saying this much drop. I don't think any of us have done that. What I've looked at from a pilot perspective is navigational measurements. We know, that flight that John loved from Santiago to Sydney. We know that it's this many miles. We know it takes this long at this airspeed. So you can basically take that and say, airspeed over time equals distance. So we know the distance between those two legs. We know looking at, the most common flat Earth map, Gleason map, extrapolating it out because again, there is no accurate flat Earth map. So we extrapolate it and say, wow, this is twice as long as any airliner can fly without running out of gas. So from that standpoint, the measurements show that flat Earth is impossible.
5 seconds. Oh, I think you wrapped up right there. Sorry, that was right on. All right, right on time. So let's hand it over to you, Kevin. 1 minute on the floor to respond to the super chatter measurements for the flat Earth that would prove your theory there.
Yeah, the best measurement to prove either if it's a globe or flat, or even it would even measure, like they say, it's oblate, an oblate spheroid. I brought it up the other day. It's the experiment that's haven't been done yet by Brian Mullins called Force the Line. You can see it on YouTube, and I did on my channel YouTube. I did my personal version of Force the Line, like cheaper, like anyone could do it, but it's a lot of work, and it's you build a structure with which you keep the top level all the time, and if the Earth is a globe at some time, your structure is going to be higher or lower if you're uphill the curve, and you could see where it's oblate, where it's not a perfect sphere. It is. The other day Mike was saying that on miles or whatever the material would flex, which it's absolutely
5
nonsense.
seconds.
Anyway, if you see my version of Force the Line, I unbuilt the back to build it forward. So
we gotta hand the ball.
it's irrelevant to say that the material will flex.
All right, keep the
Let
super
me do
chats
a quick-
rolling,
quick-
and we're gonna hand it over to Mike to wrap up this super chat. So each person gets a
Rerun.
minute. Screen share. Warn a fella, warn a brother. All right, go ahead there, Mike.
All right, ask for measurements. Output numbers with units. Ideally, they'll have a margin of error analysis. So here is my measurement I personally did of the radius of the Earth in December 2019. I did a measurement using
Oh, we saw it.
an Eratosthenes style right here. I did it with multiple people. There's 3 that did it on that particular day, and then more have done it since then. And we all got the similar radius there of the globe. So we did that. Flat earthers have said that you can do it with multiple things, multiple positions, and it will work for flat earth, but never once, never has any flat earther done it. So here's my challenge. Show me, you can find on my website, just search for solstice. Show how these work for flat. I did the analysis for flat. It does not work.
Well, if you
There
want to
you
leave your
go.
screen share up there, I
Actual
don't
number.
know if John or Kevin want to make any criticisms about what you just presented there or the numbers on screen. Would you like to make any commentary? Or do you want to carry on with our conversation?
Well, that experiment already assumed that the Earth was a globe and that there was parallel sun rays, which we don't get. We get crepuscular rays, like I said. And it's not exclusive to a globe either. We could get different shadows like that on a flat surface too. You could just put 2 objects
That
on
was
your
my
table.
exact thing. I said, you just go ahead, do the actual math. I predicted that you were going to say that. I already preempted your claim by saying no flat earther has ever done it. Actually, you'll say it, but never do it.
Let's let John wrap
Do
up his
what?
point. I'm gonna give you another 20
Support
seconds
your
on the
claim.
floor if you want to go ahead there, John. But if you do ask a question, yeah, we'll hand it back over. Go ahead, John.
Oh, no, I was just saying you could put 2 objects on your flat table with a light, a local light, and you could see the shadows will be different. Of course, you already knew I was going to say that because it's obvious. It's not exclusive to a globe. But yeah, I mean, that's all I got.
Yeah, these are
You
exclusive to
already,
the globe. These measurements are 100% exclusive to the globe.
yeah, you already
Okay.
assume the Earth is round, and you assume that we
No, I
have
didn't. I assumed in
parallel.
this one that the Earth was flat. In this one, it didn't work.
With where was the sun in the flat Earth assumption?
We assumed that it was over the Earth, and it didn't work.
Oh,
It failed.
okay. So you didn't assume any distance to the sun?
Nope.
Did you assume it was 93 million miles away in outer
Nope.
fake space?
Nope.
Okay.
All right, let's carry into the next super chat, and I just want to let our audience know right quick, we've got a massive lineup of debates over this weekend. I'm sorry once again. I might be a little off tonight, but I feel like honestly, I've just been right on top of things. This has been a good showing for me. I just got back about an hour before we started the show from. Screaming for money, playing my dad rock. You know how I like to do it. And now I'm going to be busy this weekend hosting all these debates intermittently with James. So keep an eye out for this one. We got tomorrow. Flatsoid's going to be back on the channel. I'm just going to open up these. So we got Will Duffy versus Flatsoid on Flat Earth and Antarctica predictions. That's going to be a juicy one. Make sure you hit the notification bell for that. That's going to be tomorrow. It's 5 o'clock my time, but 4 ET. And then James is going to be hosting our Trans Women. That's going to be Andrew Wilson and Josh Sider versus Classy Neurotic and LSP. So definitely, once again, if you're going to be around tomorrow evening, check it out. James is going to be hosting that one. I'm going to be back again hosting a good friend of the channel, Mark Reed, Dr. Blitz, Angel. Is going to be partnered with Nathan Thompson again. It's going to be a blast. We're going to be doing Flat versus Globe. And definitely, once again, you want to hit the notification bell for all these debates. That's great. But long time since we have seen Cliff and Stewart come on and debate. Does the biblical God exist? And if you've seen in our live upcoming events, we have Cosmic Skeptic Alex O'Connor coming out to debate against Cliff and Stewart and Phil Halper. So, if you weren't enticed by all those other events that I'm really just trying to push and make sure that we see you again for the next event, definitely check this one out. It's going to be juicy. All right, let's carry into the next chat there, guys. Thank you so much to our panel here for being patient with me while I do all the PR. It's a lot of fun. Dr. Mantis Toboggan says, any flat earther that isn't going to the final experiment is a fake flurf.
Well, so just if I could say something real quick, they won't even let me go. They had all these stipulations. You had to be a flat earther for 2 years with proof. Like I said, I've only been a flat earther for
Buy your own
going on a
ticket.
year.
Hold on,
go.
see.
What?
I was just correcting him. He can buy his own ticket and go free.
I messaged
Yeah,
Will
go ahead.
Duffy. I told him I want to
Buy your own
because
ticket.
because at first there was the
I
main
don't
flat
have to
earther.
go to Antarctica to try to prove a globe by looking at the sun. I mean, there's
Well,
still no curvature.
It'd be a fun trip, no matter
There's
what.
no curvature on the ground. So
Hey, Ryan, that's an idea, Ryan, real quick. Do you think you could throw up a poll for the audience of whether or not they're going to see the 24-hour sun or not in Antarctica?
Good question.
Let's get to it a little bit more further through. Right now, we only have 231 votes. When we get closer to around 500, I'll end the poll. So I'll let you know who do you find most compelling. So based on our audience that's tuned in right now, we have 48% for MC Toon. Robert and John are both kind of just in neck and neck here at 22 and 24, 23. Oh, it's bouncing around. You guys are just bouncing neck and neck. And then 6% for Kevin there. So don't take the poll personally, guys. It's just what our audience feels this evening.
But I've been beaten by the loaf of bread.
No, that was earlier. That was way earlier. No.
Okay,
So
okay.
this is just who did you find the most compelling on the panel tonight? So Robert and John are pretty much neck and neck. You guys are, like I say, bouncing back and forth between 22 and 23%.
But I didn't even talk about the topic I was coming to talk tonight.
no, John is ahead and has been for a while. And that's not, you're right. Thanks, Robert. I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah.
Not bad for my first debate. Not bad for having 5 minutes to prepare for, not even
good job.
5 minutes.
Yeah,
to prepare for this.
23% for John.
Appreciate all you guys, man.
Yeah, you were excellent, John. Hey, I want to be your Facebook friend if you don't mind.
Well, look at that.
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
We making friends.
Nice.
That's great. But no, you are right. Yeah, no, you bounced right up. 24 to 21. Yeah, no, I mean, it's not a competition, but I mean, the audience is definitely putting in their votes now. So it's more of a catty poll, but we'll do the 24-hour sun once we get about halfway through. All right, Witsit Gets It asks, Witsit, I've been trying to get, I know you're hanging out in the live chat. I've asked you
Big
send
fan,
me an email.
Austin. Big fan.
Yeah, I would like for Austin, if he's interested in having a debate before traveling to Antarctica, if you'd like to come on the channel and have a debate regarding that, that would be a lot of fun. I know either Mike or, well, I know a lot of people would probably be interested in taking up that debate, but let's carry into that chat there, Witsit. Let's see, Robert, those shadows weren't actually going up into the sky like the shadows of mountains. It's just perspective. At the peak, it's clear they extend out below the peak. Would you like to retract?
I think they're speaking about something we didn't even show, because I know what they're talking about. That wasn't even something we presented. And quick shout out to Witsit. Actually, even though he won't debate me, huge respect to him for going to Antarctica. Same thing with Jaron. They're going to be ostracized by the rest of the flat Earth community when they see the 24-hour sun, but huge credit to them for agreeing to go.
Yeah, totally. I agree. The responses from the people that were offered and rejected was told a lot, and Austin and Jaron, they accepted. So respect for that. Yeah.
I think we lost Ryan for a second.
Okay. Yeah. What I wanted to say about the Antarctica, I'm not a mainstream flat earther, but at the beginning, no flat earther wanted to go, like Flat Earth Dave didn't wanna. So that's when I messaged Will Duffy. And he told me like, oh, if we ever need a regular Joe, like we contact you, and he stopped contacting me. But
no offense, Kevin. I mean, you're a good dude, but they really needed people that have the most effect. So
I know
Jaron, Jim, and Jaron, and
I know.
guys they're big name
mainstream
flirters where you're like me. You're nobody.
He picked 24.
Yeah.
And he got just a little bit into that list and filled the spots.
Yeah, I know, but it was to answer to the guy who was saying that we're not real flat earther if we're not going to
Oh.
Antarctica. I mean, 2 flat earthers are going, so the rest of the flat
Actually,
earthers
4.
all over.
4.
4?
4.
Okay, there's Whitsitt, there's Jaron. Who are the other ones?
Lisbeth
Yeah.
and
I don't
Jonathan.
know. I don't know them.
Yeah, you can. Will
Is
has
it
done
Jonathan?
videos on all of them.
Is it Jonathan Fleming?
Well,
No, okay.
well, I definitely look forward to hosting this debate after all you guys have had to say just in regards to this. It sounds like it's going to be really interesting. So, definitely sounds like one our audience would be interested into as well. Alex says, Ryan gone for some more snacks. And then GK says, Ryan's pooping.
Hungry.
No, I was just making room for some more brew. All right, let's carry on, guys. This has been a lot of fun. Once again, a big shout out to our panel and to our live audience for all of your interest. Let's see. I'm just going to scroll.
Saved by the bell, Mike. We're not talking about curving building.
Oh, we gotta
I'll
wait
get
for
you
you.
some-
Oh, you
I'll
and the
get
you
curvy
some other
buildings.
time.
You're
You
going to.
forgot to present your evidence there.
All right. Once
Oh,
again,
I
just
will.
once again there, Kevin.
If you give me time,
John,
if
John-
someone
You
gives
had
me
time, dummy.
Hold on there, Kevin. John is here. He's your partner. Like I said, he's got his own thing that he's presented as well. We want to focus on what you guys have put on the table here this evening and what our audience is interested in grilling you guys about another time for sure. Or if somebody in the audience wants to ask that question. We're not there yet.
Please,
Maybe
audience,
somebody has.
please.
Maybe somebody in the audience has, and I just haven't gotten there yet. Just patience for sure. So Icy Spin says, flat Earth is true. All opposing evidence is false.
Okay.
A claim without evidence is disregarded.
Icy Spin's a Glober. He's mocking them.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe we'll just move on, guys. All right. Witsa Gets It says, if the sun actually set beneath the Earth curve, shouldn't there be a distinct shadow cast into the sky caused by Earth's bulge every sunset and sunrise?
That's a
actually do see
great
that quite
question.
often.
And it happens. You can look up Belt of Venus. Now, Belt of Venus is a corollary to that. But look up Belt of Venus, and you'll find talk of the Earth shadow. And it's there. And it moves quickly, and you need to have the clouds visible, of course.
A great example of that would be at dusk when it's the black on the ground. It's all dark on the ground, but you look up and the high altitude clouds are still lit up because that's the sun still going up and lighting up the clouds, even though it's dark on the ground.
Yeah, it's called perspective and reflection.
No, it's called light.
Oh
but-
my gosh.
Okay.
It's called reflection.
All right, next one.
Oh, I got to turn up my preamp there. That's an important thing. All right. Let's see here. Thank you so much for your super chat there. Oh my, yeah, quite a few just popped in there. You guys are really stirring up our live chat's
money,
pot,
all right.
I tell you. By gee, they're wild for you guys. They're chomping at the bit. Let's see. What's it gets? It says. Just in between that, JSS Tiger says, John, you have confused refraction with tides. So do you have anything to say to JSS Tiger there, John? We'll just keep it to John on this one, guys.
No, I didn't confuse anything. I mean, you could just look it up yourself if you're talking about the way the water appears to come up and block things from the bottom. Just look up if atmospheric refraction can make the water appear to rise up. So, yeah, it's a simple Google search.
All right, thank you so much, John. Let's carry into the next one. Wittek Gets It says, they'll arrogantly dismiss it with, it's called night. No, a distinct shadow line would rise into the sky from Earth's bulge before nightfall. Try again.
And it does. Thank you.
Turns out his prediction was wrong.
Yeah.
We
it
didn't
actually
say
happens.
it's just night.
Yeah,
Oh,
it happens. Good job with it. It happens.
All right, let's carry on. We are moving right on through there, guys. So big shout out to our panel. You guys are rocking the super chats here. Yeah. Let's try not to move through too quickly, right? But yeah, this has been fun. Blake out says Flurfs can't explain toilet water rotation.
That's a
Oh,
myth,
my.
anyways.
It depends if it comes out this way or if it comes out that way. Anyway, no.
That's a myth.
That's terrible. That's terrible of me to say. All right, IC Spin says, John, why doesn't horizon always rise to eye level?
You said, why doesn't it?
Why doesn't horizon always rise to eye level?
Oh, I mean, it does. I showed it a few times in here where you could see the attitude indicator on a plane where the plane is slightly pitched up. And from the cockpit of the plane, even with the plane pitched up, you could still look out and see the horizon. Doesn't matter how high you go, the horizon always comes up with you. The earth doesn't curve down and away from you ever. You'll never observe that. No one in this room, no one in the chat will ever observe the curvature of the earth because it doesn't exist. The horizon comes up, it doesn't go down and away.
All right,
Period.
what you got
Ryan,
on the
if I can.
table there, Mike?
Yeah.
I'm going to share screen.
All right, Mike wants
can
to
I-
share screen, so let's give Mike the
I think
floor.
I
He's
just wanna share an airplane.
he patiently waited with his hand up there, so
right.
I'm just gonna let him.
After Mike, I want to do a rebuttal real quick.
Sure.
Took this myself.
Cartoon.
Let's bounce it.
Another
I
cartoon.
took this myself. This is a photo I took myself
Yeah,
with
yeah,
the,
you
with
took
the
it
theodolite app.
yourself. Sure.
Shush, Kevin.
Do you have
my
a
turn to talk.
footage? Do you have a
pretend,
footage?
pretend you're an
Alright.
adult for a minute, Kevin.
All right, he's
You
on mute.
Piece of garbage.
Hold on, Pete. Please just focus on what you're trying to present. He's on mute.
All right. I took this photo myself, even though Kevin will lie about it. I took this photo myself on a flight between Minneapolis and Anchorage. That's the moon. That's the circle. That's eye level. That's the bar above the moon. Below that square is the horizon. It did not rise to eye level. When flat earthers say the horizon rises to eye level, they are wrong.
All right, I'm gonna take you off the mute there. If you would like to respond.
No, I'm good. The
It's
key point there is
it's the same
that when
that
the flat earthers say that the horizon rises a level, it's because they never, ever, ever actually measure it. They just look out the window and say, yeah, it looks like it's rising.
well,
All right,
They measure it. which they
Robert,
won't do
Robert.
until
giving
see
Kevin
it
the
go.
floor just right quick, Robert, just because
Yeah.
Mike had the response
Sure.
there.
the picture that Mike just showed, it's similar to the picture that Robert showed earlier. And I asked Robert before the debate, like, I can't wait to see the footage of yourself from your cockpit and say, look, the picture that I showed you on the internet that circulates and everyone show it, not necessarily a pilot. It's true. Look, it's in the plane and you can see the line that calculates the eye level. It's over the horizon line. And it's the same for Mike. It's not hard to take some picture and add some line over it and look, it's over the horizon line. That
And
makes
let me
no
explain
sense.
something
Show
really,
some
really
footage.
basic to you, Kevin.
No, I mean, show
No,
some
you made your
footage.
point. I'm gonna respond to it. We're running
Okay,
out of time
let's-
here.
Yeah, go.
All right, the pictures that we've taken, of course, they look similar because that's what it is. The horizon is always below level.
Cartoon lines.
We're taking pictures from airliner altitudes, 35, 40,000 feet. I fly at 10,000 feet. So for me to recreate it, it's going to be like that. It's going to be minuscule. I don't fly that high because I fly
You
in
don't
an
understand what I'm
unpressurized airplane.
saying.
So
You
next
don't
time I
understand
fly,
what-
sure, I'll do it. But
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
also, hang on, let me finish. I'm also flying over land. So I'm not, so if I'm flying over land, the terrain's going up and down. So that falsifies the observation because the terrain's not flat like flying over water.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be a valid observation. What you're asking me for, especially as I live in a mountainous state, it's not going to be
Well,
a valid observation. So it's a
Sometimes
silly
you're
one to ask.
gonna fly over water. I assume that
I am
sometimes.
1,000 miles away from the ocean.
Okay, so
That's not
you
very-
never fly over water.
I fly over little lakes, but
So
quarter-mile
we're
lakes.
go. Okay, so I should ask to a pilot who flies over water. So you're kind of useless for that.
All right.
All
I'd be
right.
happy to if you give me about $2,000. I'll fly a much longer flight and go over the
I'm
ocean.
not
for
gonna
you.
give you $2,000.
Yeah.
You think I'm gonna give you $2,000? I'm
Exactly.
not
So
gonna
quit
give
asking
you-
for things.
Yeah,
that aren't-
exactly.
aren't
You know
possible.
I'm not gonna give you $2,000. So give
You don't
me
have $2,000,
I'm
so
gonna
don't worry
do
about
it.
it.
No, you can't take your plane and
Hold
go
on, we
over
Canadians
water.
are well off. I'll have you know. No.
Yeah.
just-
Yep.
All right, I'm just gonna
what-
carry into the next question. We're gonna get really into the weeds, honestly. And Kevin, you're gonna get your wish here shortly. All right, somebody did ask the question, so you just sit tight. We're gonna get there. I swear, it's coming up eventually. It's in a backhanded way, but it's gonna come full circle for you. So just hold on there, brother. I got you. All right, Silver Phoenix Rising. Let's see. Oh wow, we really do need to scroll up. Yeah, that is it. Silver Phoenix Rising. Hey, Flurfs. Earth's curvature is measured in degrees, not feet.
Okay.
Okay. Any
Well,
thoughts on
if we
that?
look at the chart of the 8 inches by mile square, it's clear that you can see it 8 inches. Well, it's 7 point something, almost 8 at the first mile, and it's the second mile by mile square, and you can see you can say degree if you want, but you can calculate like how much inches you're gonna lose. And another thing that I finished the other debate with, that it's one thing we don't talk a lot. It's the tilt of the building, because if you observe a building from, let's say, a kilometer, okay, the tilt's not going to be apparent because it's not far.
Okay.
But if you watch a building from 30 miles, it should have a tilt.
How much?
Wait,
tilt?
how much?
Tilt,
How much,
and they
Kevin?
are. Wait a
How
minute,
much?
Robert.
How
I'm not
much?
done.
All
Wait
right,
a
they're both asking how much
Okay.
tilt. If you could,
How much still?
Well,
30 miles.
how
How
we
much?
don't answer that, we'll just go
it
ahead
should
with
be
the next one.
apparent.
How
It
much?
should be. It
How
should be
much?
apparent. I don't know
much?
Are
how
you not
much.
smart enough to figure this out? It's not hard.
No, hey, okay, how much?
Yes. How much? At 30
How
miles
much?
How
away,
much?
how much is the building
Yeah, how
tilted?
much,
You're-
Robert?
you're
How
the one
much,
making the
Robert?
claim.
All right,
How
so
much, Robert?
he's heard
How
your
much?
question.
You don't know.
You made
don't
the
know.
claim.
Okay.
I will tell you how much, but you made the claim.
Yeah, okay,
that-
let's go.
no,
Tell me how
you
much.
made the claim that it would
Tell
tilt.
me how
All right,
much.
he's heard
How
your
much,
question. Hold
Robert?
on there, Kevin. So, Robert, you've been asked the question on how much is the degree. So go
So
ahead.
if you watch a building at
Okay,
30
you won't let me
miles, there
respond.
should be a tilt.
Hold on,
Logically,
Kevin.
if
Kevin,
there
you-
is a-
Kevin,
is
Kevin,
a-
you asked the question. We're gonna let Robert.
All right, so Kevin,
answer.
since you've never actually done it and never figured it out, every 69 miles is 1 degree. So if the building's 30 miles away, that's now less than 1/2 of a degree of tilt away from you. Can you see that from 30 miles away?
So dumb.
Do you have any chance in hell of seeing that?
So dumb.
So, are you
Alright.
guys like to use
Oh,
degrees?
this
and
is a
stuff?
question for Kevin, please, John. Then
Okay.
you can
Well,
answer.
hold
I
on,
really
hold
want
on, hold on.
to-
I do.
So 1 degree.
Hold on, Kevin. All right, so you say 1 degree. I do want to let John in here though,
Less
because
than
if
a
he
half a
wants
degree.
to add to what Kevin is saying here, I think it's a value. So go ahead, there,
Yeah,
John.
but I'd really like Kevin to answer it first. It's less than 1/2 a degree of that building tilting away from you at 30 miles away. Do you
Okay,
really
it
think
was
you can
1
observe
degree.
that?
Now it's less than 1/2 a degree. You changed your data. Well, you don't know how much.
All right,
It's
I'm
basic
handing
math,
it over
Kevin.
to John there, guys. All right, I don't want to put you on mute, so let's give John the floor. I
Yeah,
think our
so
audience understands.
the super chat or whatever was about the earth doesn't curve in feet or whatever. But
Degrees.
if anyone just goes and types in earth curve calculator on Google, there's a bunch of them that pop up and none of them do it in degrees. Weirdly, strangely enough, they all give you feet.
That's a linear
all of them.
linear drop from horizontal tangent, not a curve.
All of them do. So there's also a documentary called Convex Earth, and they did this test with
Yeah, I
two
saw
buildings that were 3,050 kilometers apart. And
It's
they
all
had
faked.
they had a
It's all
third
known to be
party.
faked.
I mean, so is your space
Shut the
videos
fuck
from
up,
ISS and NASA. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, they had a 30 or 3,050 kilometers apart, and had like a third party surveying company do it, and there was no tilt in the two buildings over 3,000 kilometers. So no curve.
All right, let's ask the next question there, guys. Just in the interest of fairness and trying to give everybody equal speaking time. So thank you to our panel once again, and thank you to our live chat. All kinds of questions coming in. Lord Luminous Poo, what a great name you have there. Flips, 44-hour signal round trip. Where's Voyager 1? Want to help us out here? What's going on? 44-hour signal around trip. Where's Voyager 1?
Where's Voyager 1? Is it directed to us?
Oh, yeah, obviously.
Did
Yeah,
you want to maybe
we don't-
help out? Maybe the super chatter didn't put enough in here to kind of clarify
I
it.
think you can probably clarify that the Voyager 1 spacecraft, which launched back in the 70s, it's so far away, it takes that long to get a signal there and back. So they're asking is, where is it if it takes that long for the signal, traveling at the speed of light for it to go there and back and take that long?
Yeah. And so you know where is Voyager 1, Robert?
So the question was to you guys.
Yeah,
If it
but I
takes
don't
that
know where's
long-
Voyager 1. You want me
If
to
it- if
answer? Where
Okay, why are
is
you
Voyager
diverting
1?
again? The
All right, so
question
Kevin has
was
said he does.
for- obviously for you guys.
So in fairness, Kevin has said he doesn't know. So I'm going to hand it over to John if he wants to engage with the question there.
I don't know. It's all that stuff is fake. I
It's
mean,
all fake.
they're not going to
Everything I don't
space.
like is fake.
Space violates natural law, the second law of thermodynamics.
Could you quote for
We
us the
live in,
Hold
second
on
law
one
of
second
thermodynamics?
there, Mike. We'll just let
yeah, I
John
mean, it's
finish up.
high pressure seeks low pressure. You have entropy. So basically, the high pressure is it's heat always goes to the cold.
All right, I'll let you respond there, Mike,
sorry.
if you'd like to.
I'm sorry, that's not the second law of thermodynamics.
So what is it?
You're the one making the claim about the second law of thermodynamics. You should be the one that knows it.
He's
Go
a
ahead, quote it.
clown. McToon,
Quote it
you're a
for us.
clown.
Quote it for us, John.
I just told you it might not have been the exact. quote
It's
you
not
were
even
looking
close.
for.
Not even
Okay,
close.
so what is it?
The total entropy of a isolated system is, you don't know this, always increasing? You don't know that? That's the second law
Yeah.
of thermodynamics. Can you give an example of an isolated system?
Yeah, we're in an isolated system.
No, there is only one isolated system. It's the entire universe. So the second law of thermodynamics only applies to the entire universe. It does not apply to the Earth. And what does the
So-
total entropy mean? It has nothing to do with that. You're talking about pressure. It's talking about entropy. You're confused. You're just parroting what you heard.
So what you're saying, Michael, is
I'll
that
pull it up
the,
for you.
the oxygen and all the gases that's contained in our atmosphere, there's no need to a solid barrier of
Correct.
any kind to
Correct.
separate it from the universe, the vacuum or the universe or whatever.
That's right.
It just stays. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it's gravity that pulls it towards the earth,
Correct.
and all this spins along in unison with all the atmosphere spins along.
Correct.
And it stays there. It doesn't go in the vacuum, and there's no
Yeah.
solid barrier.
Oh, there's been a
That's
lot of
that
agreement here.
That makes a
Got
lot of sense.
That's interesting.
Got it.
All right, so Mike, did you want to just put a little bow on what your criticisms were there, and then I want to let John explain what he's showing our audience there.
Oh no, I just said the hot always goes to cold. Hot is obviously high pressure and cold is low pressure. There's a correlation between temperature and pressure. So, I mean,
And
You could
what's the
try to-
application to the
you could try to
isolated
have
system?
like a
What's
like a
the isolated
Gaussian
system?
moment. You could try
What's
to have
the
a
isolated
Gaussian
system
moment
it's
if you
talking
want.
about?
Hey, shut the fuck up.
So,
Isolated system. The entire universe is the isolated system.
Behave
It does
yourself
not.
up there.
It does not have. It doesn't have a
what-
problem.
What's the entire universe? We're in a
You're
closed system.
You're trying. It's an isolated system that the second law of thermodynamics is talking about, not a closed system. There's open system, closed system, isolated systems. The entire universe is the only isolated system that exists. So the second law of thermodynamics only applies to the entire universe, not to just the Earth.
Yeah, well, there is just the Earth.
So you've said, but you're trying to use the second law of thermodynamics, which doesn't apply to the thing that you think it applies to.
Yeah, well, space is fake. You can't have a
Okay,
vacuum.
I don't care about your religion.
next
You
to-
definitely
you
can
can't
have a
have a-
vacuum next to.
You're the
Okay.
one with
All right.
the.
Quick,
I
quick,
don't mind you guys having a little cook session.
show me.
Let's let John respond.
quick question. All right,
Show
after
me,
John.
show me a demonstration of pressure without a container.
Absolutely, I
show
can
me,
do that right
show
now.
me a demonstration of a vacuum without a container. Show
I
me
think-
pressure
I think we'll be a
next
second
to
here,
a
Robert. Just
vacuum
1 second.
without a container.
Yep, I can do that.
All right, let's let
Okay.
you go ahead there. And Robert, if you can hold on to your thought, I'll let you push the conversation as soon as we finish up this. So Mike is saying that he confidently can show you what you're looking for. So Mike,
Yes.
we can't quite see that
It's
clearly.
okay. It's okay. This is the barometer app on my phone. A vacuum is a lower pressure area compared to a higher pressure area. That's what a vacuum is. The space is not a perfect zero vacuum. It's lower pressure. That's all the claim is that it's lower pressure. So right here, when I hold the phone here, there's a pressure. And when I raise the phone up here, the barometer reads a lower pressure. So just in this range right here, there's a variation in pressure. So this is a vacuum compared to here. That's the definition of vacuum, a lower pressure area. And you can measure that if you own a smartphone.
So how do you get pressure without containment? What's
I
the
just showed you.
definition of gas pressure?
I just showed you.
Okay,
I
yeah.
just
So
showed
we
you
have,
pressure without physical contain. I just
no,
literally
we're in
demonstrated
a
it to you.
container.
All of the
Phone.
words that you're talking about has
We're in a
nothing
container. Thank you.
is completely gone because from here to here there's no container. You see that?
John, why do
There's
you have a
no
pressure gradient
container.
inside of a container?
All right.
What?
Why do you have a pressure gradient? We know we're at 14.7 psi here at sea level. As you go up, as you continue to go up and up and up, the pressure basically goes to zero. How do you have a pressure gradient inside of a container?
Does it get colder as you go up?
It does, yes. As you get
Sometimes-
colder,
sometimes it gets warmer.
Hang on, let me finish.
Is there
Hang
a
on, let me
direct
finish.
correlation
All right.
Let me
between
finish.
temperature and
We do have
pressure?
to
Yes.
push
There's
through.
Yeah.
Based on our
There's
time
no
colder it
constraints.
gets, the higher
correlation.
temperature,
All right,
the
hold
higher
on,
pressure.
hold on 1 second there, John. So sorry. I do have to let Robert wrap this one, and then we'll carry on.
Yep. So given the same altitude, colder air is denser than hotter air.
All right. Well, thank you so much
That's a fallacy
to
trying
our
to say
panel.
it gets colder as you go up, so the air gets thinner. The colder it gets, the air actually gets thicker, not thinner. The air gets thinner the higher you go because there's less layers of air above it. And why is that the case? Your favorite word, gravity.
All right.
We have 4 minutes until your timer's out, right, Ryan?
So you said there's
I
not
have
a
16
correlation,
actually
a
right
direct
now.
correlation
16,
between temperature and pressure.
There
But
is
it's
a
not.
correlation, absolutely.
No,
But
so
with that being said,
Robert, there isn't. Temperature goes up as you go higher too.
No, but,
It varies.
there is a correlation given the same same altitude. Colder air is always going to be denser than hotter air.
all right.
Given the same
In a small area, yeah.
yes, but when you try to factor that into elevation, it doesn't work anymore.
All right. So, in the
The,
interest of trying to push
pressure-
through, just 1 second there, John. We do need to push through the super chats. So, I am going to restrict the chats to the side that they're addressed to, and we're going to keep it to. We're going to keep it short. In actuality, I got 16 minutes on the clock, but we got a maximum half hour, and then we got to get out of here. So Sea Lion Prime says, can the flat earthers explain why all flight planning uses the Haversine formula, which is exclusive to a spherical Earth? Did you want to start with
I
that one,
don't
Kevin?
I don't plan flights, so I can't really answer to that. Maybe
So I do want to
maybe
push it
John
then.
can
If-
answer, but
Yep, let's go ahead
it-
then over to you, John. So sorry to cut you off, but yeah, if you don't really have an answer, let's let John chew on that one. So can the flat earthers explain why all flight planning uses the Haversine formula, which is exclusive to the spherical Earth?
I don't know what that is.
Okay, let's
Planning
carry in
flights.
to the next one. Native Wildman says, is the flat Earth hollow?
It's a possibility. For both models, it's a possibility. Like we don't know what's underneath, but yeah, my opinion, it's flat or globe. It could be hollow. Yeah.
All right, JSS Tiger, did you want to respond right quick, John, or do you want to carry on?
Wait, what was the question again?
So let's see. Is the flat Earth hollow?
Oh, I don't know. The furthest we've ever drilled down was 7.8 miles. I mean,
So we don't
to
know.
make a claim what's below that is kind of I don't know. I never been down there.
But there could be some
Maybe when they say
some
hollow, they mean a
cities or-
spirit. You know, who? I don't know. I'm just picking. All right, let's carry on though. Both of you had a chance to chew on that one. We want to just, like I say, try to push here. We have a lot of super chats and not a whole lot of time, so we do appreciate
Let's
our
get
live
Rip
chat.
Globe in the chat. Rip Globes in the chat.
Rick Globe. All right.
R.I.P. Globe.
R.I.P.
in the chat.
Globe. All right. Well, thank you for coming out. JSS Tiger says, flat earthers are going to march on the Capitol with signs that say flat earthers against education. So there's not really too much to dig in there, JSS Tiger. I'm glad you had your 5 seconds of fame with that one, but we're going to carry on.
It
NASA
could be
Security Force.
flat earther against the establishment more than education.
All right, well, let's carry on. NASA Security Forces ask Kevin if Q was more right than a horoscope. Boy, I'd like to have an astrology debate sometime. That would be a gravy time. But
Q was more right.
ask Kevin
That's
if
you.
Q was more right
You
than
are
a
Q,
horoscope.
Kevin,
Well,
in this context.
Q
No.
was more right than the gyroscope. Oh, okay. I just understand. Okay, well,
A horoscope
shut the
says.
Wow.
What are you going
about
on?
about the horizon?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure I understand the question anyway.
All right, no
X.
worries. King Ed V says, I'm a structural engineer, and Kevin is wrong.
About what?
Maybe about the curvy rooms. We might be
Buildings.
getting
Buildings.
to that in just 1 second.
The curving buildings?
We might get to it in just 1 second. Who knows? What were you doing just there? That was a little bit whoa.
I want to talk about it, but no one let me.
Oh yeah. Well, like I said, maybe another time, or
I
we might get to it.
was here for
We're spending
that.
a lot of time talking about how we can't talk about it. King Ed V says the new Flurf is trying to say he knows more than a pilot. Next, he will say he knows more than an ATC in the Navy, which shows the Earth is a globe. So that one's for you, John.
Wait, what was that again?
No worries.
Saying I know more.
Yeah, he says trying to say you know more than a pilot. Next, he will say he knows more than me, an ATC in the Navy, which shows the Earth is a globe.
That'd be an air traffic
What's
controller.
ATC stand for? Does anybody want to help me out
Air
here on the
traffic
panel?
controller.
Okay,
Air traffic controller.
thank you.
So yeah, he's more than welcome to come find me on a panel on TikTok and debate me too. Navy. I'm a Marine, so they just take us where we need to go. Really,
All right.
Navy.
Roger that. All right, JSS Tiger says, Flat Earthers, why did Galileo spend the last 10 years of his life on house arrest? He disagreed with the powers that be that told him the Earth was geocentric.
Well, first of all, like we said earlier, history it's a lie. Like Galileo, okay, we know some things about Galileo, okay, but did he really exist? We don't even know. We don't have footage of Galileo.
Another lie.
It's a theory. It's not a lie because I really believe that it's a possibility that
It
he
doesn't
did
matter
not
if you believe
exist.
it if you can't prove
No, a lie would be if I knew that he really existed for real, 100%, and I would say he didn't exist. That would be a lie. But I really believe that the whole history could be a lie, and these characters could be just created
For a
just
Queen song.
to create a
I'm just joking.
narrative.
All right. No, I was just picking. Yeah, created for a Queen song. Yeah, no, I'm just, being a total arse over here. So thanks again to all of our super chatters. We really appreciate it. We're getting through them. Native Wildman says, without gravity, the whole universe falls apart. So we didn't get to talk too much about gravity this debate, but John, did you want to address Native's assertion there?
Yeah, there's a bunch of things that say it's electromagnetism and electric forces that hold our world together, from atoms to all matter and everything. And even these people say that gravity is like outer space, which gravity is fake and space is fake, but everybody's kind of been indoctrinated. I mean, look, gravity hasn't been scientifically proven. There's an effect of something, obviously, and they just assume the cause is gravity, but there's no way to isolate the other forces, etc., to prove gravity. Praise gravity.
You gotcha. All right. Well, thank you so much there, John, for answering that question. Let's carry into this one. This is from Jay Donachie. It's a $20 super chat, so we're going to try to entertain some back and forth here for just about 1 or 2 minutes. Almost all planets in the solar system have north and south poles that are colder than the rest of their planets. We have a north and south pole, too, that are colder because we are on a globe. Less sun gets to the poles. This is a $20 super chat, so I want to bounce it around the panel here. Kevin, if you want to start us out, that'd be great.
Well, why the pole? The reason why the pole would be cold, I say would be because I'm not gonna stand here and say the flat Earth model it's like that, but the way it's presented is that the sun is in the middle, like he's okay, like at the equator, it's where it's hot, it's more hot, and it travels from the tropics, so it stays so that would be the reason why the pole, what we call the pole, but if it's a flat earth, there are no pole anymore. There's the center and the around it. But that's the reason why the sun would circle. I say would, okay, circle in the over the equator and going from tropic to tropic, and that would be why it's hot, like in the middle, in the very center, which is the North Pole. It's cold, and Antarctica it's cold. It's very simple.
All right, let's keep trying to roll through the chats. Thank you so much. Let's get as much out as we can. How are we doing on time,
I know that
everybody?
I know that was a $20 super chat. Just to touch on that a little bit, I talked about it before. The difference in distance between the equator and the poles to the sun is 0.00004%.
Oh,
And the sun is 3.4% closer in the wintertime. So on the globe model, it doesn't make any sense that there's so much of a difference. And that's going to the extremes between the poles. I could go right now. I'm in Jersey, just came from Florida. It's below
10
freezing
seconds.
here.
Let's try to push.
It's warm in Florida, and that's literally negligible amount of distance. And yeah, it just proves the sun is smaller and more local.
Yeah.
All right,
Just
really
very,
quick there,
very,
Robert.
very quickly. It's not the distance to the sun. It's the amount of the atmosphere that the sunlight is going through. So if you're at the equator, it's the thinnest amount of the atmosphere. If you're down the poles, it's having to go through at an angle through a lot more atmosphere, which is absorbing more of the heat. So that's the reason, not the distance.
All right,
but
let's,
you know what?
It's the incident angle as well.
all right, let's push there, guys.
Yeah,
All
but
right, we're gonna push
the
like the
Earth is
We let you guys
tiny
answer. We answered. Let's
compared
move
to
on.
the sun.
yeah, we're gonna push like the baby's almost here. All right, let's do it. LJ says, MC Tune, how much money did it take to sell your soul?
Yeah, religious flirps are the most toxic flirps. They tend to just religify everything. This is just a science debate. It's not about the Bible. But you want to make it about the Bible? You flat earthers lie, and Satan is the father of lies. There you go, LJ.
What did I lie about, Mike?
I
I
want
wasn't
you
talking to you. I was talking to LJ.
What? Okay, I'm a flat earther. What did I lie about?
Hold on, we're not doing back and forth right now, Kevin. But I will say, you say that you don't want to do that debate there, MC, but I swear it would be a heck of a lot of fun. All right. So Steve from Wormhaven says, Kevin, I'm dying to hear your thoughts on curvy buildings. All right, Kevin, 1 minute on the floor.
Okay,
You got 1 full minute. Let's do it.
a minute.
1 minute. Let's do it as quick as you can. All right, 1 minute.
Okay.
Put it out
I
there.
don't
And
have
if
time
it's
to
so
do it,
interesting, then people will
I'm
have you
gonna
back.
pass again well, I played the clip of McToon saying that the building curved on distance, but when you build a building, like, okay,
We're looking at
like
your Wi-Fi
here,
right now.
you see the line on the wall here. Okay,
Look
this
at
is
your
the
Wi-Fi there, Kevin.
level. Okay, it's straight. Okay, so if you go on and like force the line and you keep going with your structure and you follow your line, it's gonna stay straight. It's not gonna follow the curvature of the earth. Okay, I wanted to play the clip with the construction worker who said that it's completely absurd. He rolls eyes. You can see the genuine reaction.
You're not sharing your screen per se.
No, I
You're
know,
not
I
sharing
know.
your camera.
I don't have time. I rather show in real time.
Hey, turn off the screen share then.
All right, I'm going to turn off the screen share so people can see you
you
bigger.
What?
Oh, I just turned off the screen
you
share
go.
so people can see
No,
your
no, you
camera a
see-
bit bigger.
You see the green line here?
Yeah, we
That's
see
with
it.
my level, okay? That's the way to build a building, okay? You follow the straight line of your level, okay? So even if the earth is a globe or it's flat, your building
5
is
seconds.
not gonna follow some curvature of the earth like Mike says.
I don't think I was
You're
following
gonna
that.
follow, okay? So he made a claim that
That's a curvy line there, Kevin.
building is
All right, we got to move
gonna
on.
follow the curvature.
We got to move on.
Follow up.
All right, there you go. Okay, we got your curvy lines there. We did what we could to help you out there, Kevin. But let's move on. Somebody, Shovelhead Steve says Kevin
I
and
wanna follow one
Josh
up.
with the little poop emoji. Shovelhead Steve, you've got the propensity to probably come up so many good puns. I believe in you. This is low bar. All right, I think you're better than this. Believe in yourself, okay? Pookie just puts in $2. Thank you so much for helping us out. Forte says
Tell your
conspiratorial.
mom the earth is flat before Pookie does.
Okay. All right. Yes. Tell your mom.
You see,
All right,
when
Forte.
when we get email like that, like they say, oh, Kevin and John, they're poopy muchy.
Okay,
You can see,
Kevin,
you
Kevin,
can
Kevin, don't
see
take the bait. Don't take the bait. All right, I put you on mute. I don't want you to take the bait. We got so much to get through and so little time. Forte is asking, conspiratorial thinking and analytic abilities are negatively correlated. Why is this? So, do you guys think that this is true? Do you want to clap back at Forte for the assertion? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I just asked to unmute there, Kevin. But John, if you want to respond to Forte's assertion there.
What was it again?
You said I should say they, I'm not sure. Conspiratorial thinking and analytic abilities are negatively correlated. Why is this? No, I was going to say, yeah. It's more of an assertion, but if you want to, like I say, if you want to engage Kevin and say anything to Forte's comments here, it's up to you.
Fortes.
Yeah, they say conspiratorial thinking and analytic abilities are negatively correlated.
I don't think so. I think it's quite the opposite because the Globers, the main narrative, it's like it's sheep mentality. They don't have to think. They just have to follow mainstream. Whatever the scientists say, you often see Globers say, well, if the scientists say so, who are you to disagree with it? Well, like I can make my observation. I trust in my intelligence. Like when I look at the body of water,
Let's wrap in 5.
it's flat. Okay, if I can measure it flat. Okay, I did it on the ice. It's flat. Okay, I'm gonna do it again in the future, and it's flat. But even
all right, we got to push
with
into the
no,
next
even
question there, Kevin. So let's
wait,
put a
I'm
bow
not
on it.
done. I'm not done.
All right,
I'm not done.
5 seconds, buddy. We do have to push into the next
Even
chat. Oh my
if
God,
I
there's a
don't
cat.
measure it, when you understand the physics of water, when you look at the water in a glass and you get a larger container like the toilet bowl, the bathtub, the swimming pool, the lake, the ocean, the physics
All
of
right,
water
Kevin.
doesn't change because the container become larger.
Let's put a bow on it, bud.
The water, okay, the earth is composed of roughly 70% of water. So it's the physics of water, it's flat.
All right. Thank you so much, Kevin. I'm so sorry to try to cut you off there. We do have limited time. Oh, everybody's pulling out their pussy cats on stream. You know you can't do that live. Anyway, yeah, better than when Aaron used to come on and he would pull out, he'd have a parrot on his shoulder and stuff, and I'd be like, oh, he pulled out his bird live on stream. That's not okay. And then he'd come back with a snake. Yeah, Aaron had all kinds of animals. He's wild. But yeah, shout out to our good friend Aaron. Let's see here. Thank you for your super chat. NASA Security Force says it's a valid question to ask if an opponent thinks if space is a global cabal. I want him to tell me his view on what the universe means globally for Kevin. And yes, I did ask your question, NASA.
Yeah, what he wants to know, I think, is what I believe space is. Because there is something. Is that the question? Did I understand correctly?
So just to clarify, yeah, they said it's a valid question to ask if an opponent thinks space is a global cabal. I want him to tell me his views on what the universe means globally. So I think they're trying to say, like, is this view wrapped up in some sort of anti-Semitic value? And I don't know if they're trying to like straw man
the
or
way I
make
understand the
it bad
question,
for
but
you.
like I said, sometimes I watch the debates and I noticed that I didn't understand that question, and that what I was answering made no sense because I didn't understand. But I'm gonna the way I understand it. I'm sorry if this was not what he said.
Let's
Is
try to wrap.
what is the universe? If it's a cabal, that it's a conspiracy, that it's not what they told us it is. Well, frankly, I don't know. The Bible says it's water over us, but I'm not a Bible guy. But when I look at the stars, it's with the P900. It's the same effect that when you look the sun's rays in the pool, you see the water moving. So it would make sense that over us is water, but I'm not going to confirm it, and
we do need to ask the next question. I'm so sorry to cut you off, Kevin, but you're abusing my good nature. I'm trying to push on the questions, and you're just steamrolling. So let's try to like I say, respect the time guidelines here so we can try to push through. JD asks, Robert, tell Kevin why he is wrong about curvy buildings. So you had a chance to present curvy buildings there for a minute, and we'll let Robert answer for 1 minute, and then we'll carry on. That's for $9.99. So it's all yours, Robert.
There you go. The quick question, Kevin. So if you've got a building, let's say it's 300 feet long, how much drop is over 300 feet?
The thing is, when you
No,
build
no,
it-
the
no,
direct question,
let me
Kevin.
answer. You asked the question.
All right, I'll let
Let
you
me
answer.
answer.
But
All right,
Okay,
all right, all right, all right,
okay,
Clarify
I'm
your
not
question.
gonna answer
Hold on. For the audience, Robert, clarify your question real quick, and then answer it directly if we can.
All right, very quickly, and I want a direct answer. Over 300 feet, how many inches, millimeters, whatever you want to use, is the drop that you're going to be measuring? 300 feet.
Put Robert on mute.
This is his question, so Robert, if he's
Yeah,
not going to
put
answer,
Robert on
all right,
mute.
all right,
I'll be quiet for a second, but I
Kevin,
want him to
Kevin,
answer.
you'll be on mute. I'm so sorry, you're not going to tell me what to do. But like I said, it's your question, Robert. So if he's not going to answer, then it's up to you to carry this horse. It's your question, and we have
All right,
respected.
I'm going to answer the question for him. Over 300 feet, 0.025 inches, 0.65 millimeters. That is that. That's how much over 300 feet. So if you're saying you're going to go measure it with your laser level, that much difference over 300 feet, it's inconsequential. You're not going to have a curvy building because it's that. Even when you get into big buildings, the biggest building, longest building is probably the New Century Global Center in China. That's 1,640 feet. You know how much that is in millimeters? That.
All right, let's
You
carry
keep saying
on.
curvy buildings. If the Earth is big enough, it's inconsequential. So I don't know why you keep harping on a failed premise.
All right, so we're gonna carry on. I'm gonna take you off the mute there, Kevin. But yeah, let's try not to
But
tell me.
can I talk? Because he answered.
No.
He asked me
All right, when you're on mute again, like I said, don't try to tell me what to do. Like I said, I'm doing my best to try to keep this together while we go through the super chats. I let you answer the questions when they were for you. This one was for Robert. You didn't want to answer at the time. When it's John's question, I want to let him
Robert asked me a question and he answered for me. And I'm muted to not answer. I want to answer. He asked me a question and he answered for me. Can I answer his question?
No, we're going to move on.
He asked me a question.
All right, we're going to move on. So sorry, Kevin. We've got limited time. And like I said, we got questions for John as well. You have a partner. We can't just, like I say, we can't just take all the time for yourself as well. It's not fair to John. So let's just carry on. Let's see. Let's try to skip some of these more insults. This one's for you. Actually, this is for the other side. Okay, so we had a lot of questions for Kevin and John here. So let's see. MC Toon, if force equals mass and acceleration, and force and acceleration moves in the same direction, which would lead back to a specific action or point, where is this action coming from? Where is gravity, an action / force coming from?
Yeah, I read that question when it came in. It doesn't make any sense at all. So try again. I don't know.
All right, that one was for you. So that one, that's what you get right now. Awakening Minds. Sorry, we're late in the debate, so we can't keep this going too far. Shovelhead Steve, another poop emoji, super chat. Thank you so much for your educated input. We'll say. Let's see. C-Line Prime says, can either flat earther describe the difference between reference ellipsoid and geoid? Bonus points for how they are measured. So I'll let you start that one, John.
What was that? Reference points for ellipsoid or geoid?
Yep. You got it.
I don't know.
No, not sure. Okay, I'll take you off the mute there, Kevin, if you want to respond to that.
I know.
I want to respond.
This one's. I know there's three, if I'm not mistaken, three Earth models. If you look up, I know there's a spherical model, a geoid model, and then they call it like the real life model, which assumes it's flat. But as far as the question goes, yeah, I'm not really sure.
No worries. Did you want to take about 15 seconds there, Kevin, and we'll move on?
Well, I want to answer the question that I couldn't answer earlier.
No, we're not going
Uh,
back. I'm sorry, Kevin. We can't go back. Pookie asks.
okay, so he asked me a question, and
No, we're on mute again. We can't just keep doing this, all right? We're going in circles on this, buddy. Please help me out here, okay? Help me help you, okay? Pookie asks a question. Pookie, it's a cute name, all right? We're just gonna enjoy that for a second, all right? Globe believers want everyone to ignore the fact there's no curvature, which is priceless, then pay thousands of dollars to look at the sun in Antarctica. Insanity. All right, he's coming right at you. So MC Tune, I think you probably should start that one since it's coming right at you.
Yep, I have 15 measurements of the radius of the Earth on mctoon.net/r, just a small sampling. And if you would like, you can go to mctoon.net/curve and see photos of the curve and more measurements of different styles than just on the other page there. So a whole bunch of them. Ignoring that they exist doesn't make them go away. They do exist, in fact.
All right, let's just carry on checking out the poll there. Make sure you vote in our poll. I still have the same poll up there for you, who you found the most compelling tonight. So NASA Security Force, Ryan, don't pass over my chat. I sure didn't. We read your chat. Slow John Doe says, why can't Shadow of the Earth be seen on the moon? I'm not sure who
It
this
can.
is
It's
for.
called an eclipse. A lunar eclipse. It happens. Wow.
Okay.
What
Right.
about a selenilian eclipse where the sun and the moon are both above the horizon?
Yeah, predicted by the globe. In fact, the location that it will happen, that you can see it, is predicted by the globe as well.
They've been predicting those for thousands of years, way before the globe was even a thing. But also the shadow on the moon, it's like a red shadow, orange shadow, uh, and and a shadow from a sphere onto another sphere would be like a S wave or a sine wave type of shadow, not
No, it
what we
wouldn't. That
observe
makes
in
no
reality.
sense. That makes no
And
sense
the
at all.
shadow from a lunar eclipse comes from the opposite way than we would observe it than if it was the Earth casting the
Yeah,
shadow.
just
So
as VSOP 87 and ELP 2000 predict.
All right, that's the wrap. Greg Ware says 9 days until the death of Flat Earth Tail Talk. So, yeah, 9 days until these fellows are going to be going out to Antarctica. I don't know what your streaming situation might be like. Who knows? Maybe I'll hear from
We're
one of
trying.
you guys. Yeah, do try.
We have Starlink. We're not certain how well it will work, but we're planning on it.
I would love to host the exclusive debate, of you guys being there. That would be amazing, I feel just that would be the bee's knees. If bees had knees, that would be the bee's knees of debates right there. For being in this space right now, I think I don't know if I'm the flat Earth host king at this point, the flat Earth versus globe discussion, but I've hosted a lot of these debates. I think I might have a title at this point. And Bob says, it's not evidence until you took a picture of yourself taking a picture. Then for that to count, you need a picture of that picture and so on. Oh, Bob, you're being funny. But I don't think there's too much there. But Bob, yeah, you're fun. Harnold says, using the clinometer Android app 3 days ago on a flight from 34,911 feet, it was roughly 3.2 degrees down to the horizon. Flirts are dishonest. Any thoughts there, John or Kevin?
well, I think it's very dishonest that I've been prevented from talking about the very topic I was coming to talk here tonight. And even when Robert asked me the
Kevin, are
question,
you going to
he
answer this
answered.
question? Are you going to answer
No,
this question?
no, I was here for a topic, and now it's 23, 25 here, and I could.
You're answering audience questions. I don't mean to put you on mute again. No, I do mean to put you on mute again. You're starting to tire me out there, Kevin. We are answering questions from the audience. We're not going back at this point. When Robert asked you the question, you passed it back, and the question was for Robert. I gave you the floor for when the questions were for you, and I didn't cede it over to the other fellas. I've been as fair as I can be. And like I said, you're being incredibly unfair to John here, who came in last minute. Yeah, I don't want to target you, but let's try to not focus on what's behind
But
us. Let's go forward. Using a
Ryan.
I'm going to ask you the question again. If you can't answer the question, like I said, we're
But Ryan,
not but
earlier,
Ryan. We're going to ask the question.
Robert asked me a question, and
All right, you're going to stay on mute. I'm going to ask the question to John. Using the clinometer Android app 3 days ago on flight from 34,911 feet, it was roughly 3.2 degrees down to the horizon. Flirfs are dishonest. Do you have something to say to Harnold?
I mean, I would like to see that. And clearly Globers don't listen because we already established the horizon is apparent. It changes, show time lapses. You can see it change. The attitude indicator when the plane is pitched up, the horizon is still right there. You can look at and see it right at your eye level. Doesn't curve down and away. There's so many things about planes that destroy the globe. The attitude indicator attached to the gyroscope, the descent calculations, it's ridiculous. If you look into planes, flight dynamics assume the Earth to be flat with zero curvature and non-rotating. There's tons of government documents from NASA, the U.S. Army, the CIA that assume the Earth is flat and non-rotating. Also, a bunch of documents that mention a local sun in there too from the government. So.
All
Tell
right,
you
well,
what,
thank you so
John,
much.
future
No,
debate,
we're
I'll
not.
be
We're not
happy to
allowing
destroy you.
responses. Sorry, you're on mute, Robert. We're not allowing responses right now. We're just going to keep it to the one side. So, thank you so much, John, for answering that question. Can we get an explanation of why refraction on flat Earth wouldn't block buildings bottom up? This proves globe, not debunking a globe like claimed. Thanks for your first super chat. We appreciate it. So, can we get an explanation of why refraction on a flat Earth wouldn't block buildings bottom up? I'm going to take you off mute, Kevin. If you could please focus on the question that was just asked. I'm going to give you the
Was
floor.
it wood or wooden?
Sorry, what was that there, John?
Was it why refraction would or wouldn't block buildings from the bottom up?
Of why refraction on a flat Earth wouldn't block buildings bottom up. So if you want to start there, John, and then we'll hand it over to Kevin.
Oh, it absolutely would. I showed the time lapse before, of the water and the trees and the apparent horizon rising up to block out the trees from the bottom up. So yeah, the Globers like to say refraction only brings, like McToon said before, it brings everything up. But you can see the trees just chilling there and the water raising up and blocking the bottom. So that was kind of dishonest. And if you really knew what it was, then well, like I said before, I don't know if it was dishonest or just you didn't know any better. But yeah, refraction absolutely blocks things out from the bottom up, and also perspective and convergence, because the ground appears to ramp up, sky appears to ramp down. We have a convergence point. So when things can't converge anymore, they get blocked out from the bottom up.
All right, Kevin, if you want to add on to that one just right quick.
That was a question for us, but
is it?
You
Sorry.
you got 1 minute till I leave.
Oh no! Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to drag it out too long. But MC2.
Super chatters.
Yeah,
sorry.
You know how it goes sometimes
It's
there,
too
MC. We got a lot of super chats. You guys really got our audience up and running. But no, I don't want to keep you longer than you need to be here. Don't feel obligated at all. I'm going to give you your closing statement. The floor is yours, MC.
Well, thank you very much. This was a lot of fun. Thank you, John, for last minute popping in. I appreciate that. Kevin, next time, be a big boy when you have your chance to do your presentation. That's at the beginning. All this whining you've done since then. The beginning is when you do your presentation. You didn't do it. You just yammered on. Anyway, Robert, great job. Thanks a lot, everybody. I'm going to Antarctica. 9 days to Flirfs on Ice, and we're going to see the sun circling around. Be sure to follow my channel.
Fine.
Tunes.
Love you too. Thanks.
And
Ryan,
you're the last. You're the last one.
Oh,
Conspiracy Tunes, pre-recorded videos, and then I'm going to be doing some live videos, hopefully live streaming from the ice on my MC Tune live channel. And Ryan, thank you very much. Excellent stuff. And we'll see you all next time.
Now I feel selfish. All right, well, thanks, buddy. We feel we'll hopefully hear from you. Yeah, if you guys figure out what your internet situation is there, yeah, it would be a lot of fun to maybe see you over on the channel. So let us know what your situation's like, and yeah, best of luck if we don't see you from now to then.
All right, see ya.
Cheers, buddy. Thanks. All right, well, let's go over to this other screen here that's not so chaotic. All right, Robert. Even though we have a lot of questions for the other side, I'm counting on you to hold down the fort at this point. So
give it a shot.
All right. All right. Thank you so much. So, Kevin and John, it's a 2v1. All right. That's going to be interesting. All right. Oh, well, he's left, so I guess it's just you guys versus each other.
Well, I don't like the odds, I don't like it to be unfair. So if you want me to step back, or
Oh,
if
no, you're good. 2-on-1's fine.
Kevin
No,
wants to.
I'm just joking around. Honestly, with the way the questions are now, it's best that I think we all, as many people that can be here, because there are questions just for specific speakers. So we do appreciate our live chat, and thank you, John, for your willingness to stay. If you do want to go, though, I'm not going to hold your feet to the fire. You've been a super help to the channel tonight, but if you can stay and answer a few questions, I really appreciate that too. So, well, thanks, John. That's great. Darkstar says, Darkstar 4400 says, for Kevin or John, if you can zoom in on a ship that appears to be over the horizon and bring it into view, can you zoom in on the sun just before sunrise and bring it to view?
Well, personally, I've never tried it with my P900, but I saw some video on the internet. But you know what I think about the video second hand on the internet. So it's not because it fit my narrative that I'm gonna change my mind and say, oh yeah, yeah, it's true. Look, you can bring back, you can. I saw some video on the internet that the sun is setting and people zoom on it and you can see some space between the water and the sun. But again, it's from the internet. I didn't do it myself. So I could do it myself. I'm probably gonna do it at some point, but at that point, I will believe whatever I see.
All right, let's
Because
carry on.
second-hand measurement or footage from the internet, it's not valid for me.
All right, next one coming in. Let's just keep stream trucking through, and thank you to our live audience for all your questions. Roland says, why can't you see the Rocky Mountains with a telescope from the CN Tower? For the flat earthers. Let's start with you, John.
Well, there's this thing called angular resolution. So when things get further in the distance, we know they get smaller. Like my hand here is big and it gets small. So we can't see forever whether the Earth is flat or a globe. You just can't see forever, not even with a telescope, even though they have you thinking you could see these stars the hundreds of light
Light
years
years
away
away.
in outer space is actually ridiculous. But yeah, we can't see forever, even with optics, even with telescopes. Plus, the atmosphere gets in the way. So if you notice, when you look at, say, certain mountain ranges, he's talking about the Rocky Mountains, like different mountain ranges that are further in the distance will appear lighter because we're looking through more of a medium. So angular resolution, and we're looking through a medium. So we can't see forever.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. I have nothing. Oh, okay, Ryan is gone. Okay, I'm gonna talk about the buildings. Okay, to answer your question earlier that you asked me, Robert, and you told me how many. Okay, what curve would you have in a building of 300 meters? If curve there is, okay, the building, whether it's a mile long or 300 meters or whatever, a human would have to have
Oh boy.
make that curve, okay? Because the
What did I
level
miss?
is a straight line, like you can see here on my wall, okay?
Oh, we're
It's
back
a
to the curvy
straight
lines.
line.
No,
So
no,
you
no,
are
Kevin,
building
bad
the
Kevin,
building.
bad Kevin. No, no, Kevin. Oh, I trusted you for 2 seconds. Oh man, I'm just picking. No, this is fun. All right, let's carry into the next question.
As soon as I saw you were gone, I said, oh, the laser.
Get out of here. You're on mute again. How dare you? How dare you abuse my bladder? All right. he's really seeing the lengths of my you're testing the lengths of my powers here. All right, about 15 more. I hear you, bub. We'll try to wrap it up. So Roland, thank you so much for your super chat. NASA says, oh wait, you're a Marine and think the Earth's flat. You've never been on fleet. Your stance is a disgrace to the corps. The corps works on intelligence. Oh, he's throwing a lot of shade there, John. Do you want to come hard down on Mr. NASA security force there?
Yeah, well, first off, I don't think the Earth is flat. I know it's flat. You could go test it yourself, like I do. I go test it myself. I don't believe what anybody tells me. So, you know, go test it yourself.
All right, let's ask the next one. I think the Marine. What King Ed? This is not fun. I think the Marine ate too many crayons at basic, is what King Ed said. So keep an eye out for King Ed. He's not your friend, from the sounds of thing there, John. Or maybe he is a friend. You're a friend of the channel because you're putting in money to ask things that we won't respond to. King Ed also says, once again,
It's all right, bro. I'm used to all the, insults and stuff like that. I mean, I'm a flat earther. Globies lose their mind all the time. And, every type of name, I got fired from my job, but I'm gonna still keep spreading the truth. You could call me what you want. You could fire me from my job. You're not gonna stop me from spreading the truth, though. So I appreciate you. All you Globies out there, anti-flat earthers, you guys make new flat earthers every day. You give us a bigger voice, you give us a bigger platform. So as much hate as you bring to me, I still love you.
hear that, King Ed? You are loved. John loves the haters. All right, just so you know, he's gonna hate that. He's gonna say something now. All right, Jay Donaghy says, "I said all other planets in the solar system have north and south pole, so that tells you're on a globe for all." Um, maybe I didn't read this correctly, but I said all planets in the solar system have a north and south pole, so that tells you're on a globe. Oh, that tells you're on a globe, and then they want you all to answer. Okay. Do you want to start us out there? Here, I'll take you guys off mute. Do you want to start us out there, Kevin?
No, I'm too pissed now. I know that there's some kind of conspiracy to prevent me from talking about this topic. It's clear. Okay. I presented Mike McToon saying in my opening statement his clip saying that building are curving. And when my 6 minute was over, I figured there's 3 hours and more to bring it back. But every time I was prevented to talk about it. And when I took
Kevin,
the
you're killing me.
equation when you were gone,
like you said,
I was there.
Oh my goodness, Kevin. You can't keep circling around. I'm not trying to do anything to silence you, bub. It's just that we had the chance to have the conversation. It's come, it's gone. We've even actually gone back to it, but if we want to unpack, we're not going to be able to do this during super chats. That's what we're doing right now. So that's when you decided it was best to try to unpack it. I gave you a minute to give your best, unpacking of that at the end of super chats, and we also had a little bit of rebuttal. That was great, but we're not going to keep circling the drain on this. So, like I said, I don't want to boot you out of the stream. I don't want you to say, "Oh, okay, this was Ryan being unfair." I think I've been as fair as I can be, and like I say, maybe a little over fair because John's sitting here waiting to answer questions. So while you're doing this,
for my next debate, could it be that I come back with Toon and it would be exclusively about this topic, please?
we
Would
will
it be
work on
possible?
something. But if like I say, if you're not going to follow the rules, it's going to be hard for me to want to get you back. So if
Well,
you
I
could
wanted to
please
talk about
focus,
it.
I'm going to ask you just if you want that, then just please focus on the questions ahead of us, and we will work on it. Okay, I promise you. But if you can't do that, then it's going to be off the table for me there. Okay, so just work with me.
Okay.
Okay. Beach
All
Lover
right.
asks. Enoch of TikTok, he crushes the globe donuts daily. Okay. Enoch of TikTok, you're just doing a shout out for somebody you like. That's cool, Beach Lover. You like what you like. Thanks for your support at Modern Day Debate. Michael Martinez says, can either flat earther give a prediction exclusive to flat earth that they can prove mathematically? You know what's required to prove a model.
Well, yeah. Well, like the experiment I wanted to do. Well, it's an experiment and it's a bet at the same time with my landlord. Because me and my landlord, we go back and forth in text because he blocked me on Messenger because he couldn't handle it anymore. But he didn't block me on text, so we still text. And at some point, he proposed me to make a bet um, on a boat. You know what I was talking earlier, there's someone on a boat with the GPS, so I can have the position of the boat, and with that you can calculate mathematically if the 8 inches by mile square is real. If we do lose object below the curvature with the P900, you stay on the boat like, okay, child mate, he's leaving, he has his GPS, I stay on him, so I know exactly where he is. like the bolt earlier, it's
Alright.
yeah, you weren't gonna cut me. It's over.
Well, we do need, like I said, we do need to pass it around, so we do need to try to wrap it
Yeah,
up
it's
around
okay.
the 1 minute mark. But let's ask this one. I think I missed. King Ed says Witsit is wrong yet again. On a cloudy day, you can see the shadow crossing the clouds when the sun sets. I'm pretty sure I asked it, King Ed, but he said that I did not ask that one. So, do you guys have anything to say there?
Sorry, I was reading what Robert just sent me. I didn't get the question. I'm sorry.
No worries. Let's see. There's another one here. Slow John Doe. Ryan, you read my question wrong. Go back to my question, please. The question was, why can't the shadow of the Earth be seen on the moon? That was from Slow John Doe. So if you guys want to go ahead and chew into that for a few.
Why can it be seen? Can
Yeah.
or can't? Can.
Why can the shadow of the Earth be seen
Yeah.
on the moon?
Well, we are told
It
that
can't
this
be.
is. You want to go ahead, John, with that?
Yeah, I mean, I just said it before. It can't be. They say a lunar eclipse is from the Earth's shadow, but a selenilian eclipse or an impossible eclipse is when the sun and the moon are both above the horizon, which proves it's
At
not
the
the
same
Earth's
time.
shadow. And the shadow is coming from the wrong way.
Yeah, I took a picture the other day. There was the moon in daytime, and I looked at the sun. We were seeing both at the same time, and it took like an hour to my landlord to catch that I wasn't saying, look, you can say the moon in the daytime. Literally, it took him an hour.
10 seconds.
Like I'm okay, and I was saying, like, look at the reflect. If the sun, if the sun is what's light the moon, that doesn't make any sense. The
Okay.
way I still have the footage in my phone. I'm gonna get it prepared for another time, but it made no sense.
All right,
And
Kevin, we'll take it offline and I'll show you later on, or probably tomorrow, how it makes sense. It's gonna take too long to explain it to you.
All right, so
yeah, I'm gonna show you
Kango44.
the
All right,
video
we
too.
do need to move on there, guys. Kango44. Kevin, you say people are like sheep. I have personally measured the shape of the Earth. It's a globe. Am I part of the lizard man conspiracy?
Well, first of all, I don't know
Whoa.
who you are. I don't know who you are. I didn't see your measurement. A lot of people say that. I'm not gonna name a name, but I think he knows who he is. He claims he measure curvature, he measure rotation. But when we ask him, okay, can we see it? That's not how science works. That's what he said. So I'm looking forward to see your measurement. If you want to get in contact with me by email, by Facebook, maybe I could take a look at it. And if you can convince me that we live on a globe, so be it. Maybe you're going to be the one.
All right, let's carry into the next one. Thank you so much, Kevin, for answering that question. Oop, I just minimized it there, guys. Once again, big thank you, John. I really appreciate you coming in last minute. That was legendary of you to do. So it can be really tough to just pop on screen at Modern Day Debate, especially when we haven't given you a whole lot of prep time. So yeah, thanks for rocking it tonight there, buddy. Kango
Thanks for having
44.
me, man.
Yeah, you're appreciated for sure. Yeah, we'll have you back again. Like I said, this saved the debate. Our audience is obviously loving it because they've got so much to say. Kango44 says, Ryan, no one tells DJ Request what to play. I don't know what you're getting into. Are you just being silly there, Kango? Whatever. Bob says, Ryan, I love your active moderation tonight. Well, thank you, Bob. I had a feeling that it was going to have to be a little hands-on. These are flat Earth debates, flat Earth versus globe debates, and we're really closing in on, well, I'd say kind of like a climax point for these discussions. I don't know if you guys would agree, but it seems like it's
Say
kind of
that
hitting
on
a
YouTube.
pinnacle. It's really interesting to see the evolution of how this has happened, but we'll see how everything unfolds, guys. Keep an eye out. We're gonna try to have more debates regarding the flat Earth experiment, so keep an eye out. Kango44 says, question for Mike. So you're going to use Starlink stream whilst in Antarctica. I didn't know there are balloons over Antarctica.
Mike is gone.
It'll actually it will be interesting to see how well it works because there aren't as many satellites over Antarctica. But it will be interesting to hear their excuses when it's like they've got high-speed streaming internet from the middle of the ice, and because they can't claim ground towers.
All right.
Hey, Robert, do you believe in satellite?
I know what satelloons are. They're a real thing, but they're not satellites.
Yeah, of course not.
All right. Next one. Sea Lion Prime says, "Flat Earthers, why does every single flight manual used to train pilots say the Earth is a rotating spheroid?" Go ahead there, John.
That's not true. Well, John,
It is
okay,
true.
go.
Yeah, John wanted. All right, John, do you want to jump on that one?
Yeah, so the FAA trains pilots to fly over a flat, non-rotating Earth. Also, like I said before, flight dynamics assume the Earth to be flat, non-rotating with zero curvature. And there's tons of government documents that assume the Earth to be flat and non-rotating. So also
Challenge
the
to both of
instrument.
you.
That's in your then.
Hang on. Challenge to both of you, not tonight. Find a single pilot training manual that says the Earth is flat. Just send it to me. Just find one. And by the way, the same document you talk about also say the aircraft are rigid and have constant mass. Neither is true. It's simply a simplified engineering model.
Our
So
aircraft
what you're
floppy.
seeing, what you're saying here, Robert, is that when you fly, okay, as a pilot, you can tell me when you fly over around Earth, at some point, if you want to keep the same altitude, you're gonna have to dip your nose. Whether you say you don't have to, like the Glober say, well, at some point you're gonna have to. It's logic, or else you're gonna gain altitude.
All right,
You're
I'll let you
never
have the
gonna
last
stop
word.
gaining
Ryan, it's up to you. I could answer them. It's going to take a couple of minutes, and
Well, this
we
is
could
up
do
to
it.
you. You said you were on limited time, so we have a
Okay.
few more questions, Robert. So if you can entertain
Yeah.
it, if you're willing to stay, we
All
can
right,
get this
we'll
wrapped up.
we'll entertain it real quickly.
Okay.
So in Kevin's view, an aircraft that they don't correct for pitch is going to keep climbing and climbing higher in altitude. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's gonna stay at the same straight and level, but because the Earth is curved
Yeah.
and it doesn't dip to follow the curvature of the Earth, you know the argument.
All right. So what you're
Okay.
saying is that if they don't do this, it's going to keep
Well, they
going
don't.
higher away from the Earth. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying higher from the Earth, but it's not going up; it's going straight. But
Okay. So let's go.
because
All right. So let's go straight. Am I getting further away from the Earth?
yeah,
That's higher.
well, you are higher. You are
Okay.
higher that you don't have the same altitude. Hey man, be
All right.
honest.
So all right.
Like,
So I
do
want
it again.
I
Do
want
it
to understand
again.
your claim, Kevin.
Do
So
do
you're
it again.
saying, hang on. I want to make sure we understand. You're saying that if I don't correct for the curvature of the Earth, I know
Yeah.
it's blocking a little bit, I'm getting further away from the Earth, which means I'm getting higher up. Is that your claim?
Well, yeah.
All right. So aircraft can fly into space?
Well, if space exists, if the whole heliocentric model and the round ball was true, the plane, it wouldn't take long time that it would fly into space.
All right. Let me be a little bit more specific. Can aircraft keep climbing unrestricted without more power and more lift?
I'm not saying climbing because it's not
It is,
climbing.
you are
but
saying
by-
climbing. What you're
no,
saying,
no, I'm not. No,
You
I'm
are.
not. No, no,
right,
no,
right.
no, I'm not. No,
All
I'm
right.
not.
Yeah,
We're not going to
so-
do the yeah.
so-
Let's get John in here, guys.
Unfortunately,
Real
Ryan, we
quick.
don't have.
Okay, you
Hold
don't
on.
understand.
We are on limited time, Robert. I want to respect that as well. Sorry to mute you. John, if you want to just quickly inject here with your final thoughts, we'll move on.
We have pitch data from flights that show the plane is slightly pitched up the entire flight level, not changing altitude, not changing pitch. For example, there's a SR-71 Blackbird. There's actually a document about
it
the
10
Blackbird
seconds.
that says the Earth is non-rotating and flat. But the SR-71 would have to account for 900 almost feet of curvature per second. If a plane did that going 2,200 miles per hour, it would just turn into pieces.
All right.
I'll
Thank
tell
you
you
so
what,
much,
Ryan,
John.
we could do an entire debate on this topic alone. I'm willing to come back and discuss it with these gentlemen in the future.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
sure.
Let's plan for that. But yeah, in the meantime, let's focus here. King Edv says, my Miss Super Chat asked the Flurfs about using a laser level when building a structure over 100 feet long, but water levels will say it's not level at the ends of the building.
Can you repeat the question?
So this is from King Edv. He says, using a laser level when building a structure over 100 feet long, water levels will say it's not level at the ends of the building?
Well, if you follow the line, okay, let's see, okay, it's more like
I got you,
than
man.
a drawing. It's reality, okay. It's live measurement that's going on here, okay. It's not first, it's better than first hand measurement. It's live, it's going on live, okay. So picture yourself as a construction worker, okay. So you use your laser level to build your house. You don't want your house to bend, whatever, okay. If your house is in a
You're so
hill,
sneaky.
You're laughing at him
you
now,
see,
Ryan.
you
He's
see
so
some
sneaky.
house.
he's
Hey,
getting it in there.
can I talk?
Yeah, I'll give you 15 seconds
Okay.
there, but you're
The house in the hill is not going to follow the hill. It's going to be straight because you use a level to build it. Well, if you keep following the line, if you wanted, if the earth was curved and you wanted to follow the curve, you would have to not follow your level because your level is going to keep
all right. I gotta cut you
going
off.
straight.
I gotta
okay?
cut you off there, Kevin.
Again.
John already was like 3 hours. What have I done? So we are way past that. I gotta just try to reel it in there. So thank you so much, Kevin. Appreciate your enthusiasm. But yeah, we just have to wheel it in a little bit and try to get through the last super chats. To everybody on the panel, Brisky says, "Can we all have a moment of silence for the globe?"
Nah.
Oh, we are gathered here today. No, all right, we won't do it.
Rest in pieces. Rip Globe.
John's got he's got the whole shenanigan going there. I see that. All right, so thank you for your first super chat. We appreciate that, Brisky. That's fun. Alyssum says, can Flurfs explain how geocompasses can find true north on a flat, non-rotating Earth?
True north, eh? Well, I don't know where is it exactly, true north, and I know that when you have a compass, it indicates magnetic north. So how you find true north? We don't even know. Even on the flat Earth maps, the current one, we don't have Rupus Nigra, which is the black rock, which would be the black rock, because I'm not sure 100%, I didn't see it, but that would be what attracts magnetically the compass towards north.
All right,
okay?
well, thank you so much there,
But
Kevin.
okay,
We do have like I said, we want to wrap up the last 5 super chats. So Pookie says, read my other super chat. It's funny, bro, and PG. I'm sure it is. We want to get these guys to their closing super chats. I'm thinking, Pookie, that you sent this after I already read it. Pookie, it makes me want to squeeze someone's cheeks. I don't know what it is. Just, that name, Pookie, right? It just sounds like it sounds like a pug. You know what I mean? You just want to just be like, oh, look at those jowls. All right. JSS Tiger says, flat earthers against rotation. Fear. Ooh, it's an anagram. That's cool, JSS Tiger. You do what you want to do. I read your super chat. Huzzah to you. Solo John Doe says, good debate. Love from a layman to both sides. So there you go. You guys got love from Slow John Doe. He's just a slow John Doe. Don't judge him. Okay? He's just taking his time. All right. thanks, Slow John Doe. Frisky says Earth is flat. Tell your mom before Pookie does. All right. Thanks, Brisky. Shovelhead Steve says, why is it only stupid people believe in flat Earth? Well, Shovelhead Steve, why are you wasting so much on not asking a question that we can actually engage with at this hour? We really got to get our speakers out of here. We can't entertain your vitriol at this point. But, you're welcome to it. Have fun. Pookie says, R.I.P. destroyed the globe as usual. We have our own observations. We don't have to believe anybody. That's coming from Pookie. All right. Sorry if I didn't mean to bring you down there. It's just your name. It's adorable. All right. Ryan. Hey, fellow Ryan. I don't know if you're allowed to have that name. I might have to go find this guy. All right. So Ryan says, we all need to remember when Island Guy saved 24 orphans from a burning building. What?
That must be my pet. That must be my pet Globey, Gravity. What's up, Gravity? What's up, Pookie?
What is going on? All right, King Ed V
Oh,
says,
yeah, I don't know.
do planes nose down or up when they land?
Robert.
And they still descend. So you could basically have a 3-degree, in fact, you could even have a 10-degree angle up and still actually descend and land. So they try to make a
Yeah.
big deal out of it, but it actually has not as much to do with going up and down as they want it to be.
Last super
Well,
chat.
about the planes, Robert.
I'll let you
Like
respond.
we
last
hear
super chat.
we hear the pilot say that when they fly straight and level, because it's an aviation term, according to the pilot, they have to put the nose up a couple degrees. I think it's 3 degrees up. Is it true?
It's actually yes, but a qualifier. But for most airliners, that's the most efficient thing. Factoid, the B-52 actually flies perfectly level. So it depends on the aircraft. It's an aerodynamics thing and not a, following the earth type of thing.
Yeah, but they do call it straight and level flight because it is
Yeah.
straight and level.
It means no change in altitude. But happy to have that discussion with
no change in altitude would be dipping the nose, because you
Nope.
have to be at the same distance
All right.
as the
Future
Earth.
conversation, Kevin. We don't have time tonight.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
We will get together there, guys. Like I said, I don't mind having you guys on again as long as we can all follow the rules and get right back into this discussion and we don't talk about the any prior debates. And like I say, I'm not trying to pick on anybody, but yeah, we do want to try to focus when we have these debates as much as we can. We're trying to provide to our audience. The best that we can at Modern Day Debate. We want to make sure that everybody's getting their shot to make their case. And once again, that your questions are getting answered here. So King Ed V says, I am a contractor. Kevin, you're wrong again. So King Ed V.
Can I answer to that person now?
So
Can I?
We're just going to move on. I'm going to be honest with you, Kevin, because King Ed V has not
quiet.
specified.
We got 2 minutes.
He has not specified what you're wrong about. So King Ed V, if you want to put in our live chat what you're specifying that you think Kevin's wrong about in regards to your criticisms, because there's nothing here to really sink our teeth into. Just saying somebody's wrong doesn't really identify what they're wrong about. Alyssum says, follow up from my previous question, a gyro compass is not magnetic by design. So how can it find true direction?
Okay, I'm just back from I lost the internet connection. Okay, a gyro compass is not magnetic. Okay, for what I answered earlier. Okay, I didn't know that gyro compass. So what is it? How does it work?
I'll speak to that real fast. So a gyro compass, and we don't have time. I can bring it up in the picture. Look at a gyro compass. There's a little adjusting knob on it. So before the pilot takes off, they adjust the gyro compass to match up with their magnetic compass to say, okay, that's true north, whatever it happens to be. So the compass will essentially, as they're moving, will essentially adjust. Okay, you turn 90 degrees. Now you're going east or west. So they have to about every hour or so they adjust the gyro compass to match up with the magnetic compass. So the key thing is it's more stable. Your magnetic compass, as you're flying, jumps around and bounces all over the place.
5 seconds.
Your magnetic compass is stable, but it has to constantly be adjusted to match the magnetic compass.
All right, I want to be able to get you out of here before the top of the hour, so we're going to save the back and forth for another time, and we're going to give a virtual round of applause to our debaters on screen. Like I said, we do have to get these guys out of here in a reasonable amount of time. I'm sorry for tramping down on some of what you guys have to say there. King Ed V, we won't be able to clarify your chat there. I'm so sorry. We're going to get into our closing statements now. So make your thoughts known in the live chat there. I still have the poll up. We do have lots of juicy debates coming back up on Modern Day Debate, but without further ado, I'm going to give it over to John for 1 minute on the floor to give your thoughts on our discussion tonight. And if you have anywhere anybody can find you having discussions, let us know.
r.i.p.globe on TikTok. So fluid statics says that water at rest is level and it takes the shape of its container. So water needs a container. We all know this. The globe doesn't have a container. Gas pressure needs a container. So we live in an enclosed system. Space is fake. The earth is flat. You could test it yourself. You could do long range observations. They say the earth has a 3959 radius. It should curve at 8 inches per mile squared. So testable, observable, repeatable, we see way too far. Globers like to say it's refraction, but they got refraction backwards. It doesn't just magically lift everything up over the imaginary curve, but it could block things out from the bottom up. So
All right. Well, thank you, John, for coming out to Modern Day Debate. Appreciate you having you here. And honestly, like I said, this is one of those legendary moments where you picked up the torch last minute, and I think you rocked it. So our audience appreciates you, and we appreciate you at Modern Day Debate. So thank you so much, John. Hand it over
hey,
to
thanks.
you, Kevin. 1 minute on the floor. Your closing thoughts and where everybody can find you.
Yeah, I want to start by thanking John too for filling in at the last minute because we almost canceled that debate because my partner canceled at the last minute. And when you first said that you were a new flat earther, 11 months, I was like, oh no, I'm not gonna have a good support. And I had huge support. You know your shit, and for you, you're rookie of the year. You're rookie of the year, man, definitely. And I want to thank you for filling in, and thank you, Modern Day Debate, for having me back. And I wish you're gonna have me back in the future.
For sure. Well, yes, definitely. We have unfinished business, it sounds like. So we're going to hand it over to Robert. Thanks for being here, Robert. Let everybody know where they can find you and your thoughts on the discussion tonight. 1 minute on the floor.
But primarily on several Facebook groups. I actually, as a joke years ago, I created the new official Flat Earth and Globe discussion group as a space for people that were kicked out of Nathan's group to come in. So I help out with that group and several others. So you see me a lot of different places there. Again, I just want to thank everybody for showing up. Again, John, thank you for coming in. We didn't have to cancel after Tony bailed at the very last minute. Huge respect for all veterans. I'm a vet myself. So yeah, Semper Fi. Thanks for serving.
Hoorah.
Unfortunately, what we've seen from John, it's basically you've kind of followed the Nathan, or not Nathan, well, yeah, the Nathan Thompson and the Eric Dubay playbook. Everything you say is what every other Fleur says. I would like to hear something original from you, but maybe in the future, pretty much everything you said about aviation, a lot of the other topics is wrong. So I'd love to go in a dedicated debate discussing on that to help you guys out. Oh, Kevin, the audience said it.
10 seconds.
You basically wasted your time. You really didn't bring anything to the board again.
But I tried.
Maybe
I did my
that's
best, but
my turn, not your turn.
5 seconds,
Maybe in the
though. You
future
got to
you'll do
wrap
better
up.
and you'll learn from this.
All right. Well, thank you, Robert. I'm going to cut you there. I think you were done anyways, so I'm not going to take credit for that.
Everybody have a good night.
Yes. Well, thank you for coming out. We appreciate you, Robert. The audience appreciates you. Big round of virtual applause to all of our speakers. Hang out for just 1 second. I'm just going to close out the show. Once again, if we have the tags for our speakers, you can find them there in the live chat. All right. Brace yourselves. It's going to be some of my dad rock in a second here, that old light and shade greed that we like to play. I'm not going to play that pretty stuff. I'm going to play that hard stuff after my gig earlier. But once again, if you haven't hit the notifications bell, I'm going to be back tomorrow. I'm going to be hosting Flatzoid versus Will Duffy. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you haven't hit the notification bell, we're doing this at 4 o'clock ET, 5 my time. So I just got to remind myself of that, but remind you, 4 o'clock for most of you. So hit the notification bell for that if you haven't already. And then right after that, James is picking up the mantle and coming in with Andrew Wilson is going to be debating versus a classy neurotic and LSP with a partner, Josh Sider, with Are Trans Women Women? So another interesting topic that you guys can check out. It's going to be a deviation from some of what we may be getting into right now with the close of the final experiment and all that stuff. But to keep it back on brand, I'll be back again the next day. We're going to have Nathan Thompson and Angel teaming up again versus Dr. Blitz and Mark Reed. That's going to be a lot of fun. Once again, hit the notification bell. I can't recommend it enough. Smack the like button, boost it up in the algorithm, do everything you can. We appreciate all the support at Modern Day Debate. And I don't want to forget, not only are we doing DebateCon February 15th, 16th in New Jersey, and we're going to have tickets up and running for that. And thank you to our panel for hanging out while I do our closing here, because I do want to go into the back room with our panel here and say thank you to them. But I will also remind you, very important debate coming up December 12th. Cosmic Skeptic versus and Phil Harper is going. They're going against Cliff and Stuart Neckley. So that's going to be amazing. If you haven't already seen that notification, it's going to be awesome. So yeah, let's hope to see you all there. I'm going to close it out. I got to get myself to bed as well. I'm tired, Rye. So thank you guys for coming out to Modern Day Debate. We'll see you next time. Cheers. Yeah, all right, we got everybody out. That was a load of fun. Couldn't ask for much better. All right, if you haven't already, hit the like button. You know how. Do you know how YouTube works? Are you aware that if you hit the like button, YouTube thinks you like this? It's amazing. It's almost like it does exactly what it says. So yeah, if you haven't already, smash it indeed. I really appreciate everybody hanging out in the live chat, coming out, uh, making it really lively. Let's see, who did you find the most compelling? MC Toon 1 at 54%, John at 19%, Robert at 17, and then Kevin at 18. Or no, 8. 8. 8. Oh, you guys are too mean. You guys are too cruel. I don't know if I can handle you guys right now. Are you gonna be kind to me? Maybe I should just get out of here before I get in trouble. Yes, bye, Ryan. I probably should go to bed. Thanks, Alex. I did play a gig earlier and then hosted this debate, so I don't even know how my voice has anything left to it. But yeah, we are going to be hosting a live event. So there's going to be all kinds of notifications. From what I know so far, there's Lawrence Krauss versus Inspiring Philosophy. That's going to be amazing. I didn't do it right, but I can't. I can't do it because I've got a lot of family members sleeping. You know how it is. Thanks for hanging out, Horizons View, Trigger Globe Atheist. You guys are triggered indeed in the live chat there. You guys have a lot to say. Emuman, Aurelie, Criteria, and have a lovely, a lovely level and flat day, everybody. Well, you too there, really. Matthew Pip says need fluoride and booster shot, and they will be back. Okay. All right. Well, that's fun. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Now I'm gonna get that tag. Oh no. What have I done, everybody? I don't even know how to do YouTube anymore. I really should just get myself out of here. Well, thanks everybody. You know me. I'm just keeping myself friendly, making sure that everybody has a fair shot here at Modern Day Debate, so you can keep out. Yeah. Oh, what? Yeah. That was my music there, Slow John Doe. That's usually me singing if I'm hosting. Uh, I play music with a lot of other people, and it's just fun for me to be like, oh hey, I put our music on Modern Day Debate. Yeah, I'm usually singing and playing guitar and all that fun stuff, but on that song Greed, I just sing. That was completely composed by Scott Leonard, who's a Juno Award musician who I play in a band with called Light and Shade. So um, yeah, so my singing, but not really my music per se. Some of my lyrics, it's fun. But yeah, no, we like I say, we try to make sure that you guys can sift the reasonable out from the unreasonable, so you don't get lost in the buzz. Great show tonight. I love the Globe Gatekeepers. Thanks to Globe Atheist, that was fun. Uh, yeah, we had a lot of fun doing this tonight too. This honestly, I think is a lot better. Uh, I can't pay attention to the live chat, but I really need to let Max know how much I appreciate his how vigilant he is in the live chat, because I really need him right now if I'm going to make it so that my panel can't unmute themselves. I think it's valuable because it does set clear boundaries, and people don't tend to cross over those boundaries as often, it seems, as they would if they can just unmute themselves. So, I think that's pretty good, but it does require me to pay attention, because even if they mute themselves, I have to go unmute them, and that's unfortunate. So yeah, keep an eye out for Stuart and Cliff Neckley versus Cosmic Skeptic, Alex O'Connor, and Phil Halper. Yeah, that's gonna be a load of fun. Not sure who's hosting that right now. I'm sure that James is probably going to want to host that one. It's kind of like a modern day debate, classic type debate. But I'll be hanging out in the live chat if nothing else. But I'll be vying for it. I'll be pushing. I'll say, hey, can I host that one? So we'll see how it goes. Let's see. And of course, Nathan Thompson and Angel versus Dr. Blitz and Mark Reed. Yeah, if you're really into the debate that we are having tonight, that might be one to check out. Like I say, set the notification, Flat Earth, and our Arcana predictions. That's Will Duffy versus Flat Sword. I'm going to be back with that one in about what, 17 hours about? What's the timer say? 15 hours. Oh my goodness, it's closer than I thought. All right, 15 hours. I'm gonna see you guys. I'm gonna call it a night. Yeah, no, you guys love it. You can't get enough of it. I'm gonna see you guys in 15 hours. Get some rest, and we're gonna rock it in the morning. Okay? Thank you to everybody. Put in a super chat. We appreciate you at Modern Day Debate. Good night. Wasting time, all of my life, living in a world of aggression, tyranny's mixed with self-oppression. What am I to do but tear away when I'm boiling at the top? Try to find a way to fight the fire, smart to rap from the minds of liars, call the shots as you bow your heads, and the march never stops. The stars could be free, but this insanity bends you right by the knee. Running in circles now for something that can't be found. And I bet as you hit the wall, the rain starts to fall. You can run away, sing a tune that's true. I'll be beside you. To decay from tears of blood, regrets of laughter. Turn around as your heart beat faster. Your hollow shape as the faith begins to drop. Shelter can find your thoughts of suicide. It's hanging down by the fray. Running in circles now for something that can't be found, and there's no time for today. You prayed away, the world would be untrue. I will rise.